Batting fifth, the right fielder, number 51, Logan Sowers. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 20.
From the beautiful campus of Samford University in the Magic City, welcome once again to another edition of Samford Baseball as the Bulldogs of the red, white, and blue of Samford U return home off of a victorious Tuesday afternoon in Auburn where they defeated the Tigers out of the Southeastern Conference 7-6. But Samford Bulldogs, a young Samford Bulldogs squad being led by Casey Dunn, looking to take some more steps this season as they host the Indiana Hoosiers for the first of a three-game weekend series here in the Magic City of Birmingham. And good afternoon, James Hardy with you. A glorious day here on the campus of Samford University as the red, white, and blue of Samford U takes on the crimson and cream of the Indiana Hoosiers out of Bloomington, Indiana. Like I mentioned on Tuesday, it was a good day for the Samford baseball squad, winning 7-6 over Auburn, thanks in large part to the efforts of T.J. Dixon, Brandon Fryman, really an entire team effort as those two individuals, 2 of 5 Samford batters had multi-hit days for the Bulldogs. Also, the bottom of the order contributing nicely in that victory with Troy Dixon. In the middle of the order getting 2 RBIs, but also Anthony Mulrine with 2 RBIs and Jordan Fusey with 2 RBIs in the victory over Auburn on Tuesday. Now, my question for, and one of my keys for this weekend for this young Samford squad is coming off of that victory. How did they handle that success from Tuesday and carry that over into this weekend? And that's where, in my mind, the senior leadership, the upperclassmen, will be key for this weekend and the rest of the season. Let's take it to a timeout, and we'll have first pitch after this.
Discovering new things is good. For example, you may discover that the best bank in town isn't a bank.
At Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers, we believe in service.
Maintenance service, tire service, repair service,
and most importantly, customer service.
We believe in treating our customers with respect and integrity
while offering all the services you need for your car.
Most of all, at Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers,
we believe in keeping cars on the road, keeping families safe,
and keeping you coming back whenever the need arises.
A big weekend for the red, white, and blue of Samford U as we're just about ready to kick off this 3-game weekend series. Game 1 of the 3-game series for Samford and Indiana. James Hardy with you. Normally Blake Gardner's in this very chair, but he's on assignment today with Scott Padgett and the Samford men's basketball team this weekend. As a good luck to Scott Padgett's squad as they take on VMI in the first round of the SoCon tournament later on this evening at 6:30. In fact, Blake Gardner will have the call at that game on the Samford Sports Network on our sister station. And your new home for Samford men's basketball, 99-1 the game here in Birmingham. We appreciate you joining us, though, on the Samford Sports Network for some Samford baseball. As that, like we mentioned, to start off the broadcast, came off of a huge victory. As always, when you face Alabama or Auburn out of the SEC, especially when it comes to an in-state battle, and that's exactly what Casey Dunn's squad did. Got out to a 6-run lead early on, and they held on and got that one-run victory. We'll see how much confidence that they can get and how much carryover that win can give this young squad going into a big series against the Indiana Hoosiers, as Indiana, as the visiting team, will get the first at bat in the top of the first inning. So let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineups. First, for the Indiana Hoosiers, 3-4-1, the record coming in to today. Laren Eustace, the center fielder, batting first. Luke Miller, the third baseman, will bat second. Batting third, the left fielder, Craig Didelo. The cleanup batter and the catcher for Indiana, Ryan Feynman. Logan Sowers, the right fielder, batting fifth. Jake Matheny in the sixth slot, the DH. First baseman Matt Lloyd batting seventh, and then Tony Butler batting eighth at second, and Jeremy Houston, the shortstop, batting ninth. Jesse McCord winds and deals the first pitch, fastball in there for strike one to Eustace, as our game time right at 4 o'clock on the nose. And our game time temperature right around 59 degrees. Swing and a pop-up left side as going over and making the catches. Garris along the warning track in foul territory, out number one. And a good start for Jesse McCord for the Samford Bulldogs. So he gets the first batter, Eustace, out to begin the ball game. Nobody on base for Luke Miller, the third baseman.
The third baseman, Luke Miller.
The Indiana Hoosiers coming off of a rough midweek themselves as they went over to Cincinnati, part of a 12-game road swing for the Hoosiers, as the first pitch misses the strike zone for ball one. Earlier this week, they lost to Cincinnati by a score of 6-1, did Indiana. Swinging a high, lazy fly ball, shallow center field. Coming in will be T.J. Dixon to make the catch, as that'll be the second out of the inning. Supporting Jesse McCord in the field defensively for Samford, Kevin Williams Jr., the left fielder, T.J. Dixon in center, and Jordan Fusey in right. Along the infield, Garris at third, Fryman the shortstop, Troy Dixon at second, and Austin Edens at first base, with Mulrine behind home plate. Craig Didelo, the left fielder, will get his turn at the plate for Indiana. Actually, before their midweek game this week, had a rare tie to finish out their series down in South Florida in Boca Raton against FAU. Swinging a high fly ball right field, well hit. It's going back. Fusey watches it go over the fence for a solo home run. On the very first pitch of the at-bat, Craig Didelo takes the fastball and deposits it over the right field wall around the light pole, as the Indiana Hoosiers will take the early 1-0 lead. You look at the scouting report for this Indiana squad under Chris Lemonis, the third-year head coach, 70-52-1, the record in his 3 seasons. Normally a good fielding team, have some good pitchers, especially under the tutelage of veteran pitching coach Kyle Bunn, who's had some time in the Southeastern Conference in his coaching career, as the first pitch to Ryan Feynman is up for ball one. You look at the overall profile for this Indiana squad. They've made some NCAA regionals the last 5 years, including a CWS appearance within that time span. The 1-0. Off-speed pitch high, 2-0. Normally a good fielding team coming in to this ball game. 9 home runs as a team. In fact, hit 6 home runs down in their 3-game weekend series last week at FAU. 2-0 from McCord. Misses low, 3-0. A big thank you for all of you watching us all across the country on the Samford Sports Network via our YouTube live stream. 3-0 pitch. Misses low, ball 4. So McCord a little shaken up after getting the first 2 batters out in 4 pitches. Gave up a first pitch home run to Didelo and now a 4-pitch walk to Feynman, as the Hoosiers trying to build on their 1-0 lead with Logan Sowers, the right fielder, coming up for his first at-bat. Indiana last season won 32 ball games, but just missed out on an NCAA regional appearance, as the first pitch from McCord swung on popped up right side, and that will get out of play. 0-1 the count. Really both teams trying to get some footing this season, as we mentioned at the top of this segment. 3-4-1 the record for Indiana so far through the first couple of weeks of the season. 32-24 last year, including 15-9 in the Big Ten. McCord with the 0-1. Good stop by Mulrine behind home plate as the count evens at 1-1. Just underway, first of a 3-game series for the red, white, and blue of Samford U and the crimson and cream of IU. 2 outs, top of the first inning, stretch and pitch from McCord. Fastball inside and high, 2-1. Jake Matheny, the designated hitter, is on deck. Mentioned Blake's adventures with the Samford men's basketball team earlier this half inning. Also, always at this time of the calendar, a busy time for Division I athletics all across the country. 2-1 is high and in. 3-1. You got the winter-spring overlap with men's and women's basketball, getting into March Madness, softball and baseball, getting in the swing of things as well. As it's been a good day so far for Mandy Burford's squad, and we'll give an update on their first game and also their second game later on in the broadcast. 3-1. Hit and run as there's a foul ball off the front foot of Sowers as the count goes full at 3-2. Mandy Burford, Samford softball Bulldogs looking to defend their SoCon championship that they won for the first time in program history last year and also made an NCAA regional for the first time in program history. Of course, KC Dunn knows what it feels like to get to an NCAA regional with Samford baseball, having done so not too long ago within the last 5 years, as we talked about with IU getting to Omaha. Samford has been able on the baseball diamond to get to the NCAA regional in recent years. Runner going 3-2. Has hit well into the gap in right center field. That could score a run as it one hops the wall. Making the turn around third, Feynman as the relay throw will not be made. And on an RBI double for Logan Sowers, the Indiana Hoosiers take a 2-0 lead. Both the home run and the double hit well off of McCord, as that'll increase the Indiana advantage. And keep in mind all of the damage done so far in this inning with 2 outs and nobody on base. Almost the tables turning from what Samford did to Auburn on Tuesday when the Bulldogs scored 6 runs to open up the ball game en route to their 7-6 victory. Jake Matheny, the designated hitter, will get his first at-bat on the day. McCord comes set. Swing and a miss at the curveball, 0-1. Still early in this ball game, so McCord just needs to get out of this inning and allow what's usually been a very productive and a solid offense under Casey Dunn. Allow them to come to the plate and see what they can do. The 0-1 misses high on the fastball, 1-1. Anthony Mulrine will take time and wisely in this case go out to have a quick word with his pitcher McCord. Still top the first inning. It was Eustace and Miller each flying out. Miller on a fly out to center and a foul out to first for Eustace as the 1-1 on the way. Swing and a fly ball. Check that, ace. Strike call. 1-2 the count on a swing and a miss. Runner at second base is Sowers. 2 outs as McCord 1 strike away from getting out of trouble. Stretch for McCord. Pitch on the way. Misses high, but not far enough does it get away, the ball that is, from Mulrine for any damage to be done on the base paths as Sowers remains at second. 2-2. Jake Matheny, the number 6 batter in the order, looking to extend on a 2-0 lead for the Hoosiers. McCord comes set. 2-2. That comes in, and Beans Matheny is now 2 runners on, still 2 outs for Matt Lloyd. Lloyd coming in 3 of 19 from the plate, no home runs and 2 RBIs, as we are going to have time called for the red, white, and blue of Samford U, and that gives us a little bit of time to take a look around campus as Samford softball got an extra inning win over Central Arkansas over in Starkville earlier this afternoon, 3-2. Samford with the victory, and the Bulldogs turning around and playing Mississippi State up 1-0, bottom of the third, as part of the Bulldog at Slamboree. Also earlier today, Samford's women's basketball season comes to a close with a 63-52 loss against Mercer in the SoCon tournament up in Asheville.
The first baseman, Matt Lloyd.
So Matt Lloyd will resume his spot at the plate. The left-handed batter is 2 runners on once again. All of the damage so far being done with 2 outs and nobody on base as time is called. Sowers at second. Matheny over at first base. Pitch is swung and grounded to the right side. Troy Dixon misplaced it as everybody is safe. A routine ground ball over to the right side as it looked as if that was going to end the inning, but it keeps the inning going as Troy Dixon was not able to field the ground ball as Sowers goes to third, Matheny to second base, and now on at first is Matt Lloyd as the number 8 batter in this inning. Tony Butler, the second baseman, due up for Indiana. Butler 214, no home runs and 3 RBIs. McCord comes set. Swinging a grounder to the left side. Fryman scoops it up, throws across as high, and it's not in time as the toe of the first baseman Edens comes a little bit off the bag, but just enough for Butler to reach first base. As that'll be another error on the Samford defense, allowing Sowers to score. That run is unearned as Matheny to third, Lloyd to second base. Base is still loaded, and make it now 3-0 Indiana. The number 9 batter, Jeremy Houston, the shortstop, batting from the right side. He'll swing first pitch and fouls it off our way behind home plate, 0-1. Jeremy Houston, a .259 average, 7 of 27 so far this year. No home runs and 3 RBIs. Stretch and pitch from McCord. Swinging a high pop-up behind home plate as Mulrine watches it go into the stands out of play, 0-2. We talked about the picture-perfect weather, a picture-perfect start for McCord from the pitcher's mound for Samford as he got the first 2 batters out, but he has struggled since then, allowing a home run to Didelo, an RBI double to Sowers, and a couple of errors have not helped him either. That could have ended the inning. Still got to finish, though, and still plenty of baseballs were just underway top of the first. So certainly not panic time for Samford as coming set McCord. 0-2. Good stop by Mulrine behind home plate, 1-2. Not exactly the type of inning that I'm sure McCord drew up. Once again, got those first 2 outs, and you wouldn't figure would get all the way to the bottom of the order after getting the first 2 away. 1-2 the count. Stretch. And the pitch. Lined into center field. That falls for a base hit. Coming home, Matheny to score. Around third, Lloyd has the throw up the line. And Indiana has scored all 5 of their runs here in the first inning with 2 outs and nobody on base as they now take a 5-0 lead. Once again, those 2 runs unearned as Houston drives in 2 with a 2-run single. Matheny from third and Lloyd from second come home to score. Advancing to second, Tony Butler, and we're back to the top of the order. And Laren Eustace, who fouled out, check that to the shortstop. On the second pitch of this inning, his first time up. McCord looks over the runners and delivers. Curveball low, 1-0. Eustace has started every game coming into today with a .320 average, no home runs and 2 RBIs. Fastball up 2-0. We're 15 minutes into this one, still in the top of the first inning. Indiana with a 5 spot, as McCord still looking for that ever-elusive third out of the inning. Foul ball to the left side, 2-1. James Hardy with you, filling in for Blake Gardner, who is on assignment this weekend with Samford men's basketball as they get their SoCon championship weekend underway in about a few hours, as they'll take on VMI in one of the first-round games today. One of the 2 first-round games today up in the SoCon tournament. Swing and pop up. Check that. A strike call. 2-2. 2 outs. 5-0. Indiana with the lead. Tomorrow's game at 2 o'clock first pitch, and what was supposed to be a 1 o'clock first pitch for Sunday has been moved up an hour to noon. McCord with the pitch. That comes in as the inning continues as Eustace gets hit by a pitch. So the bases will be loaded. Butler to third. Houston to second base and batter number 11 of the inning. And Luke Miller will come up to the plate. Flied out to center field, his first time up.
The third baseman, Luke Miller.
5 runs in the inning. Also, 2 errors have not helped the cause defensively for the red, white, and blue of Samford U. Stretch and pitch. Swinging first pitch was Miller as he fouls off the first one, 0-1. Samford 3-4 coming into today. Their first home game since the season opener a couple of weekends ago. Pitch from McCord. Off-speed pitch in there, 0-2. Samford started off the season winning their first 2 games against UNC Asheville, then dropped the series finale almost 2 weeks ago on the first Sunday of the season. Then had what would have been their midweek game against Troy rained out, 0-2. Upstairs with the fastball, 1-2. Samford last weekend lost 3 games down at Florida State before coming back and picking up a nice victory against the orange and blue of Auburn University. 1-2. Good stop by Mulrine. 2-2. One of my keys was, to see how Samford could handle that success they saw Tuesday, and so far not carrying over as they're down already 5-0 and have not come to bat yet. 2-2. High fly ball into left field. Should be playable, however, for Williams as he'll settle under it and make the catch for the third out of the inning. So the inning finally comes to a conclusion. However, the Indiana Hoosiers come up with 5 runs, all with 2 outs. On 3 hits, there were a pair of errors. and they left the bases loaded. So we're through a half inning of play. Indiana 5 and Samford coming to bat on the Samford Sports Network.
Human beings can be hungry anytime they please. Maybe you messed up and didn't eat enough lunch. Perhaps dinner is very far away. It doesn't matter. Come to Arby's and solve your hunger problems with dollar sliders, cookies, small-size fries, drinks, and shakes, each for $1 from 2 to 5 p.m., not a.m. Arby's, we have the meats.
Five to nothing Indiana with the lead as we go to the bottom of the first inning. Time to flip the lineup card over. Never thought I was going to do so for some period of time in that top of the first inning, but we got to that point. However, as the Samford Bulldogs will send up their first three batters in the lineup, T.J. Dixon, Brandon Fryman, and Kevin Williams Jr. to begin Samford's offensive outing today. Rest of the Bulldogs lineup, Austin Edens at first, batting cleanup, Troy Dixon at second base, and he'll bat fifth. Ayrton Schaefer, the DH, batting sixth. Jordan Fusey in right, batting seventh. Anthony Mulrine, the catcher, batting eighth, and at third, Taylor Garris, batting ninth. They'll all go up against the southpaw, Tim Herron, for Indiana, as he winds and delivers a fastball that misses a little bit up. 1-0. T.J. Dixon with a 6-game hitting streak coming in to today's ball game. Wind and pitch in there right down the middle, 1-1. This is one of my players, as far as I'm concerned, for Samford, that, hey, with a young squad, and especially with how he's been performing this season, that I'm expecting some leadership, really, as far as just being the consistent force at that top of the order as the 1-1 is in there, 1-2, the count. Dixon, the veteran center fielder from the Alabama Gulf Coast, from UMS right in Mobile. The 1-2. Up with the off-speed pitch, 2-2. T.J. Dixon, one of those handful of players that had 2 hits against Auburn on Tuesday. Infield playing back all the way around for the Hoosiers, the 2-2. Swinging a grounder to the right side, could be a tough play for Lloyd as he fields and steps on the bag in time for out number 1. In fact, right on cue, that'll send us into the defensive alignment for Indiana. DeDelo in left field, Eustace in center, and Stowers in right, the Hoosiers outfield. Along the infield, Miller at third, Houston the shortstop, Butler the second baseman, and Lloyd at first. Feynman behind home plate, and the lefty Tim Herron already with an out will face Brandon Fryman, the shortstop, for the red, white, and blue of Samford U. Takes the first pitch right around the knees for strike 1. Fryman, one of the youngsters, getting an active role on the Samford squad this season with a .385 average, as he will even the count at 1-1 by taking the 0-1. .385 for Fryman. No home runs, but 1 RBI. The 1-1. Swings and fouls it off of the hands out of play, just to my right. 1-2 the count. The Bulldogs looking for just their second 2-game winning streak of the season. Herron looking to his catcher, Feynman, gets the sign, the 1-2. Swinging a bouncer, just foul down the third base line. Brandon Fryman also had 2 hits on Tuesday in the win against the Orange and Blue of AU. 1-2 pitch. Good eye that time by Fryman as it just misses the strike zone on the curveball. 2-2. Still plenty of baseball in this one as we're just in the bottom of the first inning, but would be nice to see Samford get a response to that 5-run top of the first for the Hoosiers. 2-2. Swinging a bouncer, fair ball at third for Miller. Makes the deep throw to first in time. 2 up and 2 down for Herron for Indiana. Brings up a hot-hitting Kevin Williams Jr., who leads the Samford Bulldogs in a number of categories. .409 the batting average, 4 home runs, as well as 6 RBIs for Kevin Williams Jr. Wind and pitch for Herron. Will take a little bit upstairs, 1-0. Kevin Williams Jr. had 3 walks, but was also 0 for 2 in the win against Auburn on Tuesday. Another off-speed pitch shown and takes outside, 2-0. Kevin Williams Jr. had that 2 home run performance in the opener against Florida State this time last week. Another curveball that goes upstairs, 3-0. The veteran slugger for Samford, Austin Edens, on deck. The 3-0. Off-speed pitch changeup that time. Strike call, 3-1. Righty against lefty as the infield playing back all the way around on the infield. 3-1. Taken outside for ball 4, so a good at bat by Kevin Williams Jr. as he will reach first base on a 2-out walk to bring up Austin Edens, who has struggled so far out of the gate this year. Edens, the first baseman from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. 3 for 22 so far this year. Still looking for the first round tripper for him this year, but does have a couple of RBIs. Williams getting a slight lead off of first base. Now increases that lead as Herron goes to the plate. First pitch swing and a foul ball to the right side. 0-1 the count on Austin Edens. A veteran presence in the middle of the order for Samford University and head coach Casey Dunn. Stretch for Herron as he works fairly quickly. The pitch, swinging a line drive into left field for a base hit, as advancing to second base will be Kevin Williams Jr. and Samford getting something going with 2 outs as 2 runners on for Troy Dixon, the second baseman. We'll have to go into at least a little bit more specifics. Had a nice little chat with Austin Edens, his mother, the first thing when I got to the ballpark today. But we'll talk about that later on in this broadcast. As Troy Dixon coming up to the plate. Always nice to get to see the folks here at Samford University, especially the parents, whether it comes to the baseball games or the softball games that I normally do here on the campus of Samford University during the spring. Dixon to the plate. A left-handed batter will take upstairs, 1-0. We saw Indiana score 5 runs with 2 outs and nobody on base. We'll see if Samford can at least do something, get a rally themselves going, and maybe put a run or 2 on the board themselves. Still bottom of the first inning. Pitches downstairs for Herron, 2-0. Saw this from Jesse McCord in the top of the first inning, and kind of seeing this right now from Tim Herron as he has 2 runners on right at the middle of the order. Troy Dixon to the plate as Feynman, the catcher, has a quick word with his pitcher, Herron. Troy Dixon from the plate looking for his 4th hit, also 3 of 22 coming in. Fastball in there. 2-1. At the very least, if you're Troy Dixon, want to get on base for another slugger batting behind you in Schaefer. Williams and Edens get their leads off of second and first, respectively. 2-1 the count, 2 outs. Pitch from Heron. Low and away, 3-1. As always with 2 outs, the advantage with the base runners is they can go on contact. So a double could score 2 in this situation. Heron comes set. The 3-1. Change up in there, 3-2. So now with the full count, the runners will get a head start on the pitch. Bottom of the first, but a big pitch upcoming with 2 runners on. 2 outs, full count as Heron comes set out of the stretch. Swinging a bouncer to the right side, Butler fields and throws to first. That is in time, and that'll end the inning for Samford offensively. So a Williams walk and an Eden single go by the wayside. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. We're through 1. Your score, Indiana 5 and Samford nothing on the Samford Sports Network.
The madness begins here. Make sure you're at the U.S. Cellular Center in Asheville, North Carolina, March 2nd through 6th for the 2017 SoCon Basketball Championships presented by General Shale. You don't want to miss the action as your favorite SoCon teams compete for a championship and a berth in the NCAA tournament. Book your travel and tickets by logging on to SoConTravel.com or by contacting the U.S. Cellular Center box office. Madness begins here. Get your tickets today.
This is Lauren. These are her first roommates, her first car, and her very first health insurance plan, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. Even at her age, she's not taking her health for granted. Her affordable health plan includes a routine annual checkup, apps, and programs that fit her lifestyle. Lauren may be just starting out, but with us, she's already got peace of mind. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. We cover what matters. Find out how we can cover you for the first time.
A beautiful day from the campus of Samford University. James Hardy with you. Matt Waters, our producer for the Samford Sports Network today. And big thanks to all of our Samford students helping out today. Blake Gardner, Jonathan McAfoose, really most of the Samford University personnel up in Asheville, North Carolina for the SoCon men's and women's basketball tournament as the Samford men get underway in about a couple of hours from Asheville. 6:30 Central, sometime around there, the tip-off for Samford and VMI on the hardwood. Back to action, though, on the baseball diamond is Craig Didelo, who homered to get the 5-run rally started in the first inning, swings and misses at the curveball. 0-1. Swing and a miss, another good pitch, similar one in the dirt that time, 0-2. Didelo, the senior from Munster, Indiana, batting from the left side. Takes way high on the fastball, 1-2. Didelo, Feynman, and Sowers due up in the top of the second. 1-2 from McCord. Foul tipped into the glove of Mulrine, the catcher, as that'll be the first strikeout for Samford pitching on the day. 1 away, nobody on base for Ryan Feynman.
The catcher, Ryan Filliman.
McCord with the wind and the pitch that is in there for strike 1. 0-1 the count. Infield playing back all the way around for Samford. Hard hit ball into left field, but Williams positioned almost perfectly as he moves a few steps into left field to make the catch. 2 away. Nobody on base for Logan Sowers. Looking at the box score so far, unofficially for McCord. 5 runs given up, just 2 earned thanks to a couple of first-inning errors. There's nobody on base for Logan Sowers, who had an RBI double on a 3-2 pitch his last time up. Wind and pitch, swing and a miss. McCord looking good so far in this inning, 0-1 the count. A 1 pitch on the way. High fly ball deep to left field. That is way out of here as Sowers goes yard to left field. His second RBI of the day. He's 2 for 2. And the Hoosiers now have a 6-0 lead. So DeDelo goes to right field. Sowers this time with a home run derby type of blast to left field. 6-0 is coming up to the plate. Jake Matheny was hit by a pitch and also came around to score in that 5-run first inning. Batting from the right side. Hit hard into left field as Williams going over, and he'll have to play it on a hop deep into left field as making a wide turnaround first will be Matheny as he's on with his first hit of the day. Already 5 hits for the Hoosiers to the number 7 batter in the order. And the 5th batter this inning, Matt Lloyd, who reached on an error and also came around to score in the first. Don't want to get too far behind if you're Samford, though, even though it's still early. Down 6-0, however, as McCord looking for that 3rd out of the inning as he comes set. Pitch on the way. Misses up with the fastball, 1-0. Matt Lloyd, a junior from out of Canada, a transfer out of Iowa Western Community College. Pitch on the way is swung on and missed. A good curveball that time to even the count at 1-1. Outfield playing straight away, albeit a lot of room down the right field line as Jordan Fusey playing closer to straightaway right. 2-1 now the count. As McCord misses up and away. Already a run thanks to a Sowers home run to left. A runner at first base getting a good lead is Matheny at first. The 2-1. Misses outside does McCord. 3-1. We'll see if Chris Lemonis, the head coach for Indiana, gives maybe a hit and run sign here. But 2 outs with a comfortable 6-0 lead for the Hoosiers, wearing their gray tops and bottoms today as the visiting team. 3-1. Swing and a miss at the curveball. Would have been ball 4, but McCord will certainly take it as the count now goes full at 3-2. Austin Edens was holding the runner at first base in Matheny, but with the 3-2 count, Edens will play back at his first base defensive position. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss at the curveball. And Lloyd goes down on strikes. Second strikeout of the inning as McCord bookends the inning on strikeouts. However, a home run by Sowers gives an extra run for the Hoosiers. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and a runner left on base for Indiana. Top of the second inning. We go to the bottom of the second. It is 6-0. Indiana with the lead on the Samford Sports Network.
The road to Omaha begins in Greenville, South Carolina. The Southern Conference Baseball Tournament comes to Fluor Field May 23rd through 28th. Enjoy some great college baseball with a trip to the NCAA's on the line in a city the New York Times calls one of the top places to go in 2017. Get your tickets to the tournament and book your rooms in that Greenville today. Experience the games. Explore the city.
We'll go to the bottom of the second inning as the first pitch coming up from Heron called a strike to Arrington Schaefer, 0-1. Schaefer, Fusey, and Mulrine due up for the Bulldogs. Swing and a miss at the changeup, 0-2. Interesting note in the game notes today. All of the 7 home runs by Samford this season by one of Kevin Williams Jr. or the man at the plate, Arrington Schaefer. Off-speed pitch outside, 1-2. Schaefer hit a home run in his first 3 games this season against UNC Asheville, but has not gone deep as of yet since then. The 1-2. Fouled off back our way. Still 1-2. I'll be with you for the rest of the weekend. Blake Gardner up in Asheville, North Carolina with the men's basketball team. Hopefully be an extended stay for the men's basketball squad with postseason play getting underway today for Scott Patchett's squad. Another foul ball back to the screen. The Samford men's basketball squad will take on VMI at 6:30 on the Samford Sports Network. That is a 7-10 seed game. Samford the 7 seed in the SoCon tournament this year in the men's basketball side of things. 1-2. Fouled back to the screen. 3 straight foul pitches. Still 1-2 the count. Tim Heron, a sophomore, the lefty, gets back on the rubber and is almost ready as he'll work out of the wind. 1-2. Inside, this has been a good at-bat so far by Schaefer as he's now 8 pitches into the at-bat as the count's even at 2-2. The shadows engulfing most of the outfield. As the 2-2, fouled right side, that's out of play. Just bottom of the second inning, already 42 minutes in. Still have about a good hour and 20 minutes left of sunlight here at Joe Lee Griffin Field. The 2-2. Swing and a fly ball hit well to left field as Didelo goes back, stops, and crashes against the wall, but makes the catch. Good concentration that time by Didelo in left field to get the first out of the inning. Hit well, might have been a little bit off at the sweet spot for Schaefer, but he certainly gave that one a ride. And give credit to Didelo as he paced himself very well going to the warning track, knew where the wall was, and made the catch right up against the wall. A little thing, but definitely pays off big time if you're good, even competent defensively, as Didelo makes a good play in left. Moving on to Jordan Fusey, the right fielder, as he'll take strike 1. The left-handed batter takes strike 2 down the middle, 0-2 the count. Samford looking to get something going here as they're down 6-0, 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. Swing and a miss as Fusey goes down on 3 pitches, 2 away. Nobody on base for Anthony Mulrine, the catcher. Mulrine, 6'2", 220 pounds, a freshman out of Davie, Florida. A lot of freshman contributions for the red, white, and blue of Samford U so far in the first 3 weeks of the season. First pitch to Mulrine Misses for ball one. Brandon Fryman, the regular starter at shortstop, as a foul ball off to the right side, 1-1. Kevin Williams Jr., albeit a junior, but still a JUCO transfer in his first year of Division I baseball. We mentioned his contributions earlier as Mulrine gets ahead in the count, takes low, 2-1. A swing and a foul ball to the right side, 2-2. Didn't really get a chance to elaborate on this point, but you look at the new faces that are on this Samford roster that have been contributing, puts a lot of emphasis as far as the upperclassmen when it comes to Edens and TJ Dixon on the leadership aspect as the 2-2 low, 3-2. Good at bat so far by Mulrine as he's looking to get a two-out rally started. Infield playing back for Indiana. 3-2. Fouled off right side. We'll see an upperclassman for Samford get the start out on the mound tomorrow in Mikhail Kazanov. 3-2. Swing and a fly ball hit fairly well into left center field as ranging over is Eustace to make the catch. 3 up and 3 down for Samford University. In the bottom of the second inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on bases. We're through 2 complete innings of play. Your score is Indiana 6 and Samford nothing on the Samford Sports Network.
Meet Pete and Paul, twins so much alike, friends call them Pete and repeat. But Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama treats them as individuals. Each gets a health insurance plan designed to meet his specific needs. One is a self-employed entrepreneur, the other working for a large company. After all, no two customers are alike, especially in Alabama. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. We cover what matters. Find out how we can cover you.
Still early, but not good news for the Samford Bulldogs as they're down 6-0 in the series opener against IU. James Hardy with you, filling in for Blake Gardner this weekend on Samford Baseball here on the Samford Sports Network, as we'll have a 2 o'clock first pitch tomorrow and moved up to noon for Sunday's first pitch for that series and weekend finale. Just a reminder, noon on that first pitch for Sunday. I'll be on 5 minutes before first pitch for the rest of the weekend as well, as leading off for the Hoosiers, top the third, is Tony Butler, as he'll take the first pitch strike call. Tony Butler reached on an error at shortstop his last time up. Oh, 1 in there, 0-2 the count. Samford wearing their navy blue tops today with the white bottoms. Indiana in the gray sleeveless tops. Fastball outside, 1-2. McCord looking to settle Samford down, the sophomore from Spanish Fort, Alabama. Transfer of Mississippi State as the 1-2. Downstairs, 2-2. McCord, a hard-throwing right-hander. 0-1 with the 9.35 ERA coming into the game. Curveball outside, 3-2. Good at bat by Butler, working from behind in the count to work it full. Wind and pitch. Swinging a foul ball back. Still 3-2. It's It's Butler, Houston, and Eustace due up for Indiana in the top of the third inning. They've scored in each of their first 2 at-bats so far. 3-2. Misses low for ball 4 as it gets to the backstop. That's a quality at-bat for Butler as he reaches on a leadoff walk here in the third inning to the number 9 batter, Jeremy Houston, who has a 2-run single to his credit in the first inning.
The shortstop, Jeremy
Would not be shocked at all to see a sacrifice situation coming up for the number 9 batter in the order with a runner on base and nobody out, as Butler already getting his lead over at first base. Stretch for McCord. Bunt shown, but the throw over to first. Close play, but not in time. Good move that time by McCord as he makes the snap throw over to first base and almost picks off Butler, who has had a pretty big lead and gets a sizable little lead over at first base. Stretch. Pitch with the runner going. That misses. Throw down is up the line as looks as if the glove goes flying off of the shortstop Fryman, but hopefully he's okay. Getting into second, by the way, is Butler with a stolen base. Indeed, Brandon Fryman lost the glove in the process, but appears to be okay over at shortstop. Sure, probably stung a few minutes after making contact with Butler going over to second and losing the glove, but he remains in the game. Pitch was called a ball, by the way, as the count is at 1-0. Righty against righty. McCord comes set and pitch. Grounded foul left side. 1-1 the count. A full slate around the SoCon on the baseball diamond. We'll take a look at some scores around the SoCon here in a moment. Already several games underway. 1-1 the count. Bunt foul left side, 1-2. Top of the 8th inning. VMI leading George Washington 10-0. FAMU and ETSU tied up at 3 as they're in the top of the 5th inning. Maryland Eastern Shore with a 3-1 lead against UNCG, bottom of the 5th. Nobody out, top of the 3rd. 1-2 on the way. Upstairs from McCord, 2-2. At the very worst for Casey Dunn, you want to get as many innings as you can for McCord so that you don't have to extend the bullpen early in this series. The 2-2. Swinging a bouncer to the left side. Fryman fields nicely and then throws to first base in time. Good execution that time. Could have been a little tricky ground ball as it took a hop and then scooted along the ground after hitting that edge of the grass into the transition to the infield dirt. As remaining at second, Butler, 1 away. Top the order for Laren Eustace. Eustace 0 for 1 as he's been hit by a pitch and also fouled out in his first at bat. Stretch for McCord. And the pitch on the way. Off speed in there, strike 1. Luke Miller on deck. 6 runs, 5 hits, no errors for IU. Samford U, no runs, 1 hit, and a pair of errors. McCord comes set, and he'll turn and look the runner back to second base. Tony Butler for Indiana at second base. The Hoosiers on a 12-game road trip currently. 0-1 the count. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Change of pace that time for McCord, 0-2. The Hoosiers have already made the trip to surprise Arizona to start the season. Been to Cincinnati for this past midweek on Wednesday and have been down to Boca Raton for 3 games against FAU. Here comes the 0-2. Swing and a miss on a foul tip. Strike 3 for Eustace as he goes down on strikes. Second out, third strikeout for the Samford starter. Luke Miller to the plate, who is 0 for 2.
The third baseman, Luke Miller.
Has flied out to center field and also flied out to left. Butler still at second. Gets his lead off of second. Stretch from McCord. And the pitch. Swinging a line drive into right field, but played well. And the catch made by Fusey to retire the side. Good positioning that time on the scouting report for the Samford D. Has settled in the inning. First scoreless inning for the Hoosiers today. Offensively, no runs, no hits, no errors, and a runner left in scoring position. So we're through 2.5 innings play. It is 6-0. Indiana leading Samford on the Samford Sports Network.
Meet Pete and Paul, twins so much alike, friends call them Pete and repeat. But Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama treats them as individuals. Each gets a health insurance plan designed to meet his specific needs. One is a self-employed entrepreneur, the other working for a large company. After all, no two customers are alike, especially in Alabama. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. We cover what matters. Find out how we can cover you.
I think we should have taken a left at the river.
Tarzan, no. Where Tarzan go?
Tarzan does not know where Tarzan go. Hey, excuse me, do you know where the waterfall is? Waterfall?
No. Me, Tarzan. King of jungle.
Why don't you want to just...
If you're a couple, you fight over directions. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
You have to do that right in my ear.
Indiana 6, Samford nothing on the Samford Sports Network. James Hardy with you for this weekend. It'll be the 9, 1, and 2 spots for the red, white, and blue of Samford U on this Friday late afternoon, early evening affair. Garris, Dixon, TJ Dixon, that is, and Brandon Fryman all coming up for Samford in the bottom of the third inning, still looking for their first run of the game. Tim Herron pitching well so far, allowing just 1 hit in 2 shutout innings so far. First pitch upstairs, 1-0 the count to Taylor Garris. His first at bat of the day. Swings and misses at the changeup, 1-1. Garris, 6 foot, 165 pounds, a freshman from Sarasota, Florida. Infield playing back for the Hoosiers, 1-1. 2-1 now as Garris will take upstairs. Still plenty of time in this one, so don't go away just yet here. Just bottom of the third inning. We've seen Samford earlier this season, in fact, just their last game, put a 6 spot on the Tigers to begin that game in the win. 2-1 a called strike, 2-2 the count. Also put a 6 spot in the 7th inning in the season opener against UNC Asheville. The 2-2. Foul tipped into the glove of Finneman, as that'll be a strikeout of Garris. Second strikeout today for Herron, 1 away, as TJ Dixon, the top of the order and the center fielder coming up for Samford, who grounded out to first his last time up. Dixon looking for his first hit and would be just the second hit for Samford this afternoon. Changeup in there, 0-1. TJ Dixon, 407 the batting average, no home runs and 1 RBI. Wind and pitch from Herron, fouled off to the left side, out of play towards Seibert Stadium. 0-2. Just the 4th home game of the season for Samford on the baseball season. First in 2 weeks after being on the road the last 2 weeks. 0-2. Lined left side, that will slice foul by about 7 to 8 feet. One out. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. First of a 3-game series for Samford and Indiana. Part of a almost month-long in-state stretch for Samford. 0-2. It is tipped, and our home plate umpire says it is foul, as it apparently hit the ground before the catcher Finneman could hold on to it. So, as it stands now, TJ Dixon will get a second opportunity, and we're going to have a discussion with all 3 of the umpires. The Indiana catcher saying that he caught the foul tip before it hit the ground, and it will remain a foul ball. So TJ Dixon gets a reprieve from the home plate umpire. Still 0-2, and the at-bat continues. Lefty against lefty. 2-strike pitch. Outside corner. Perfectly painted that time for Heron as he gets the called strike 3. 3 strikeouts in the ballgame. 2nd of the inning. 2 away. Nobody on base for Brandon Fryman, who is grounded out to 3rd in his only at-bat. So the right-handed batter will try and get on base for the first time today. Swings first pitch and slices it foul to the right side. 0-1. Lights coming on now as the shadows on most of the field except for the grass part of the infield. Should have a spectacular evening for Birmingham in about a couple of hours with the sunset. Brandon Fryman takes the 0-1 and works the count even at 1-1. Outfield medium depth all along the outfield from left to right. 2-1 now as Fryman will take low and in. 6-0 Indiana with the lead. 5 runs in the first, 1 in the 2nd inning. The 2-1. Lined hard into the gap in left center field. That will get down and go all the way to the wall as Fryman gets around first and coasts into second with a 2-out double. At least for Indiana so far, all of their 6 runs have come with 2 outs. And to break that down even more, all with 2 outs and nobody on base to begin the 1st and 2nd inning. So you got the heart of the order coming up and a couple of power hitters with Kevin Williams Jr., so could be a timely hit if Samford can convert. Fryman gets a good lead at second base. Heron delivers the curveball in there. Strike 1. 2 out runs to me almost like a 3rd down conversion on the football field, especially when the offense scores a touchdown. A big, big sequence of events with 2 outs here as a runner in scoring position for Samford. 0-1. At the knees, good location from Heron, 0-2. 2 out situations for an offense in baseball. And a defense as well. The difference between the offense keep staying on the field and scoring runs, and the defense and pitching getting off the field. The 0-2. Misses high on the fastball. At least from this broadcaster standpoint, that's why I always put an emphasis on 2-out runs. And also kind of a cousin stat to that, runners left on base. At least in my mind, 2 stats when it comes to the baseball box score that kind of get overlooked. The 1-2. Fouled off to the right side. Because to me, 2-out hitting kind of tells, hey, how can your batters handle the pressure and come through in the clutch when your team needs it, at least in that inning? And late in the game, sometimes can determine the outcome of a close game. Stretch for Heron. 1-2. Good eye by Williams Jr. as he takes inside. Kevin Williams Jr. with a walk earlier in this one. Already with 4 home runs on the season. Already seen 2 home runs from Indiana today. Could certainly use one for Samford here. The 2-2. High fastball, 3-2. Brandon Fryman at second base. 6-0 Indiana with the lead. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss on a home run cut as Williams comes up empty. And Heron strikes out the side for Indiana in the third. So for Samford, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left on base as we're through 3. Your score, Indiana 6 and Samford nothing on the Samford Sports Network. 6-0 Indiana with the lead as we go to the top of the 4th inning. James Hardy with you as Blake Gardner, who's normally in this very play-by-play chair, on assignment up in Asheville, North Carolina. Of course, for a very good reason, as Samford basketball will tip off the SoCon tournament in about an hour and a half from Asheville, North Carolina against VMI. Craig Dedalo leads off. He's had a very productive day so far as he gets ahead in the count 1-0. A home run in the first inning and struck out in the second inning. Pitch on the way. Just inside. 2-0. Wind and pitch for McCord outside. 3-0. McCord so far, 3 innings, 5 hits allowed, 6 runs, just 3 earned with a pair of walks and 3 Ks. Fastball right down the middle, 3-1. Dedalo, the powerful left-handed batter at the plate as the 3-1. Taken low, ball 4. Third walk today, pitching-wise for Jesse McCord. Is stepping up, cleanup batter Ryan Finneman, who has walked and scored and also flied out to left field.
Now the catcher, Ryan Feynman.
So runner at first base now, nobody out, as Samford looking to keep the deficit where it is at 6-0, as Indiana has led from start to finish so far. First pitch and a high pop-up behind home plate should stay in play as Mulrine tosses the mask and makes the catch for out number 1. So Feynman will foul out to the catcher. Good concentration that time by Mulrine, looking into the sun that time on the defensive play. One away for Logan Sowers, who has 2 hits today, 2 extra base hits, in fact, a double as well as a home run.
The right fielder, Logan Sowers.
So Sowers will try and get another step toward possible cycle as he has a double and a home run. 1 out. No runs, 2 hits, 2 errors for Samford. 6-5-0 for Indiana as the throw over the first, not in time. Sowers, a junior from out of Lafayette, Indiana. The right-handed batter standing tall at the plate as he'll swing and bounces one weakly left side for Fryman Fields and throws on the run in time to first base. 2 away, but a glorified sacrifice in that type of situation as Didolo moves up to second base. Certainly not something Sowers wanted, but at least in this case, we'll say a productive out as it gets one step closer Indiana to their 7th run of the ball game. So Didolo at second base. Matheny, the designated hitter at the plate, hit by a pitch and singled so far today. Have those high hands do Matheny at the plate as he'll take a little bit low, 1-0. Seen a lot of Indiana batters so far with, as far as their batting stance, holding the bat and holding those hands high in the batting stance. 1-0 the count. McCord will turn and look the runner back to second. Jesse McCord looking to work his 2nd straight scoreless inning as he comes set. The 1-0. That comes in and ouch, that hits Matheny on the fastball. So now 2 runners on. Still 2 outs for Matt Lloyd, who has reached on an error and scored a run and also struck out swinging. Second time today that Jesse McCord has hit a batter in his start this afternoon. Samford really has never been in this one after getting down 5 runs before even getting their first at bat, as we will have a stoppage in play as Mulrine will give some instructions defensively to the red, white, and blue of Samford U's defense. Got to keep Indiana off the board here if you're Samford. As 2 runners on. Austin Edens not holding the runner over at first base as the Samford infield back, except at third, where Garris playing on the infield grass at the edge at third. First pitch high, 1-0. Matt Lloyd still looking for his first hit of the day. Left-handed batter will stand in. McCord comes set. Pitch on the way. Similar pitch and similar spot. 2-0. A walk and a hit by pitch sandwiched by a foul out and a ground out. 2 runners on, 2-0 the count. Swinging a liner through the right side for a base hit. Coming around third, Didolo gets the green light. The throw home, not in time, as advancing to third base, Matheny, 7-0 as Indiana takes a touchdown lead. Didolo scores from second. Matheny to third, and Lloyd with his first hit. Another 2-out RBI for IU as they extend their lead, have scored in their 3rd of 4 at-bats so far today. Tony Butler to the plate has reached on an error and also walked and has a stolen base to his credit today. Getting his lead at first base is Matt Lloyd. McCord with the pitch, swing and a pop-up, shallow left field. In foul territory is coming in. Williams makes the running catch and retires the side for Samford defensively. However, Indiana adds to their lead with a run on one hit. There were no errors and 2 left on base. Indiana has left 7 on base through 4 at-bats so far. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning, 7-0 Indiana with the lead on the Samford Sports Network.
General Shale makes your great outdoors even better with big savings on its outdoor living collection. Everything you need to create your own backyard fire pit, outdoor fireplace, General Shale delivers to your home and can recommend a contractor. Or offers easy-to-follow instructions to do it yourself. Save money now on backyard fun with General Shale's complete outdoor living collection. Hurry, your great outdoors is waiting for you.
Hi, I'm John Imarino, Commissioner of the Southern Conference. With the full cooperation of our presidents and chancellors, the conference has created the SoCon Academic Exchange, a cooperative structure designed to benefit our academic efforts. 3 primary initiatives will be the collaboration of international study programs, a leadership development program to benefit faculty and staff, and an undergraduate research forum. For more information on the SoCon Academic Exchange, visit soconsports.com.
From Jolie Griffin Field, James Hardy with you. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning here on the Samford Sports Network as Austin Edens will lead off. Edens so far 1 for 1 as he singled in the 1st inning. Austin Edens, we mentioned some of his struggles offensively earlier in the broadcast, as he'll stand in against Heron and takes high and away. Also mentioned that I had a chance to see Austin's mother first thing today. No, at least something she mentioned to me, that Austin and Casey Dunn have been working very hard lately in the batting cage during the week, trying to get things back on track. Edens already with a solid offensive outing and a solid at bat so far, up 2-0 in the count. The 2-0 is low, 3-0. Certainly one of those veterans, in my mind, you want to see get going for Samford with a young squad. Is one of those bedrock type of players that have been around in the program that you want to see provide some leadership and production as well at the plate. Off-speed pitch, high for ball 4. I think Austin Edens wanted another crack at the pitcher Heron, but Samford will certainly take a leadoff walk and will take all the base runners that they can get in this one. So nobody out, leadoff walk for Edens. Troy Dixon's the plate, who grounded out to second to end the 1st inning. 7-0. Indiana has dominated this one through almost the first half of the ball game. Pitch from Heron. Just misses low, 1-0. Tim Heron, the lefty, 6'5", 212 pounds, out of Terre Haute, Indiana. The 1-0. Gets the changeup pace for a called strike. Count evens at 1-1. Troy Dixon at the plate, the brother of T.J. Dixon, is a check swing foul back our way, 1-2. Tim Heron, 1-1 with a 4.00 ERA coming into this afternoon's game. First team All-State pitcher back in his high school days in Indiana, back in Terre Haute. The 1-2. Perfect pitch that time. As Dixon not exactly expecting that change of pace. 2-strike pitch, a called strike 3. Don't always have to have the overpowering fastball, as Heron showed you the nice finesse on the outside corner. That will be strikeout number 5 for Mr. Heron today. Schaefer grounds one, could be 2. Houston to Butler, over to the first baseman Lloyd, 6-4-3 double play. So that'll do it for Samford in the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base as Heron faces the minimum in the 4th. We're through 4, 7-0, Indiana dominating in this one on the Samford Sports Network.
Red 97! Set! Red 97!
Did you say 97?
Yes.
You know, that reminds me of Geico's 97% customer satisfaction rating.
97%?
Helped by Geico's fast and friendly claim service.
Oh yeah, baby. Geico's as fast and friendly as it gets.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Jesse McCord gets the start and has his day come to an end. Goes 4 innings for the Samford Bulldogs. Taking a look at the rest of his line for the afternoon. 6 hits allowed. Gave up 7 runs, 4 earned, with 3 walks and 3 Ks as he'll give way to the right-hander, Cody Shelton. Shelton will face the 9-1-2 batters in the Indiana order: Houston, Eustace, and Miller. A couple of home runs for Indiana today, thanks to Craig Didelo as well as Logan Sowers, both solo shots, but they've scored all 7 of their runs with 2 away. And in a couple of cases, 2 outs and nobody on base. First and second innings as the first pitch to Houston is downstairs for ball 1. Jeremy Houston with a 2-run single in the first inning. Lines one to the gap, right center field. That could get down, and it will, and goes all the way, at least to the warning track where Dixon cuts it off and gets it back into the infield. However, a leadoff double for Jeremy Houston. This type of ball game, a great performance so far for Indiana because, hey, for them getting out ahead early certainly takes the home field advantage out of it as far as just the crowd intensity. As it's been very quiet so far for Jolie Griffin Field really throughout this one. Is coming up to the plate, back to the top of the order, and Laren Eustace, who is 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch, as he'll take strike 1 against Cody Shelton. Shelton, the first reliever for Casey Dunn's Samford Bulldogs, whose job is to keep the game where it is at 7-0. 3rd appearance for Shelton so far this season. 0-1 on Eustace. Bunt popped up foul left side, 0-2. Shelton, 2 appearances so far, 1 2/3 innings of scoreless ball, has allowed a couple of hits, walked 1, and struck out 2. Eustace now down 0-2. We'll see if he bunts here as Shelton delivers. Swing and a foul ball back to the screen. Some other scores from around the SoCon today. Furman with a 2-1 lead against Michigan State, top of the 5th inning. Bottom of the 5th inning, Western Carolina leads number 18 East Carolina 3-2. Once again, that's bottom of the 5th inning. Wofford a 2-0 lead over Pitt in the bottom of the fourth inning, and that is from Spartanburg, South Carolina. 0-2 pitch in the dirt, 1-2. Wofford co-hosting with USC Upstate in the tournament this weekend. The Citadel with a 1-0 lead against College of Charleston, bottom of the fourth inning. 1-2 the count. Shelton will step off the rubber and look the runner back to second. Mercer traveling to Clarksville, Tennessee to face Austin Peay. They'll get underway at the top of the hour in about 35 minutes. Shelton the 1-2. Swing and a miss as making the tag is Mulrine at home plate for the putout. First strikeout of the day for Cody Shelton as a runner still at second and Jeremy Houston. Luke Miller, the third baseman.
The third baseman, Luke Miller.
0 for 3 today, has a couple of flyouts and a line out to right on his portfolio for the afternoon. Stretch for Shelton in the pitch. Goes with the changeup and misses outside. Samford softball has concluded their day over in Starkville, and they split their two games, beating Central Arkansas 3-2 and 8 and falling to Mississippi State 6-1. Shelton will step off the rubber. So Mandy Burford's squad gets their 5th win on the season on the softball diamond. They're still about roughly 3 weeks away from starting conference play. The 1-0 floats low and away. 2-0. Solid all-around domination for Indiana. 7 hits compared to 2 for Samford, and most importantly, 7-0 for Indiana. Pitch from Shelton. Curveball low and away rather in the dirt. 3-0. Also, Samford with a couple of first-inning errors. Indiana has played cleanly so far defensively with no errors. The 3-0. Line hard into center field as Dixon dives and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Great defensive play. That's the highlight so far today for the red, white, and blue of Samford U as T.J. Dixon roams to his right into the left center field gap and goes full extension for the second out. Well hit ball by Luke Miller, but give credit to T.J. Dixon as he hustles over and then makes the highlight reel grab. Like to see that on ESPN in the morning, as that was a very, very nice grab. A spectacular grab even over in center field. 2 away on the line out to center for Craig Didalo. Shelton looking to get out of the inning. Works out of the stretch. And that comes in the first pitch and hits Didalo. 3rd hit by pitch for Samford pitching today. 2 runners on. 2 away for Ryan Feynman. Feynman, a walk, a run scored, a fly out to left, and has fouled out to the catcher.
The catcher, Ryan Feynman.
Houston at second. Didalo now on at first base. Shelton comes out of the stretch. Pitch on the way. Low and outside, 1-0. Cody Shelton, a right-handed pitcher, 6'5", 205 pounds, out of Brentwood, Tennessee. First reliever out of the pen for Casey Dunn today for Samford as time is called. Stretch and the pitch. Curveball in there. 1-1. First couple of innings took about, 40, 45 minutes, but we've gotten into a nice little rhythm since then, time-wise, as we're right at 5:30 in the Central Time Zone. Got started at 4 o'clock today. The 1-1. High fly ball. Could be trouble, but coming in will be TJ Dixon to make the catch and retire the side. A lot easier than certainly that line drive catch, but either way goes as an out in the scorebook. So that'll do it for Indiana, 5th inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on base. So we are halfway home, 7-0, Indiana with the lead on the Samford Sports Network.
Cheaper ingredients, we've made a lower cost pizza. Let's all celebrate with a slice.
I'm allergic to triangles, so...
I'm about to go swimming.
Oh, I just turned vegan.
I'm only kidding. I wouldn't make you eat that.
Just because it's cheaper doesn't mean it's better.
That's why all our pizzas are handmade with better ingredients.
Now get a 2-topping pan or large pizza made fresh, only $9.99. That's right, only $9.99.
We're more than a pizza company. We're a pizza family. Papa John's.
7-0, Indiana with the lead. James Hardy with you, coming off of that exciting highlight reel grab in center field by TJ Dixon. Hopefully that can kickstart Samford offensively and maybe get some energy going in the Samford dugout, as it's been certainly low energy at the ballpark. Thanks to, and give credit as well to Indiana for getting out early, especially in that first inning with 5 runs. And Samford just really has not found any sort of footing offensively in this one with just a couple of hits. But I know, as Kurt Bloom, our voice of women's basketball here at Samford and the longtime voice of the Birmingham Barons that I learned under for 3 seasons, has always said, baseball, the game without the clock. So still anything possible in this one. Flipping over the lineup card, bottom third of the Samford order as Jordan Fusey gets out ahead in the count 1-0. Wind and pitch from Heron is foul tipped at the plate, 1-1. Jesse McCord got the start for Samford and went 4 innings, allowing 7 runs, but just 4 earned. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung and grounded up the middle and through for the base hit for Fusey. So good start for Samford offensively in this inning. Second time in a row that they've gotten the leadoff batter on, but could not get the leadoff batter across in the 4th, as Schaefer's inning-ending double play took care of that. But Samford getting something started, at least, with a runner at first base, nobody out for Anthony Mulrine, the catcher. 0 for 1 so far as the pitch low for ball 1. Fusey single, just the 3rd of the game for Samford, but bottom of the 5th inning as Heron comes set. Pitch on the way is grounded, left side and through for the base hit. Advancing to second base will be Fusey, as Mulrine with his first hit of the day to the bottom of the order, and Taylor Garris, who struck out his last time up. Garris, also another one of those 5 players on Tuesday in the win at Auburn with 2 hits. So you can get maybe another couple of base runners on. Even just get Garris on here and you're back to the top of the order, and maybe you can get some things going offensively, as we will have time called for the Crimson and Cream of Indiana. One of the few times so far this afternoon and now into this evening that Tim Herron has felt a little bit of heat from the mound as 2 runners on with no one out. Just halfway home in this one, so still, hey, with no clock, still anything possible, especially if Samford can get a crooked number in this inning. Pitching coach Kyle Bunn coming out. I certainly remember him from his days in Tuscaloosa as the pitching coach for Mitch Gaspard earlier in this decade. Kyle Bunn, one of the top pitching coaches in the country, and has had quite a number of successful pitchers that he's been able to at least mentor and lead in Bloomington as he goes back to the dugout. 2 runners on as we're down to the bottom of the order. See if we may have a sacrifice on. Showing bunt and taking high and away. Ball 1 is Taylor Garris. Garris 273 coming in, 3 for 11 from the plate with an RBI. The 1-0. Foul tips the curveball into the glove of Feynman. 1-1. Fusey at second base, Mulrine at first. Bottom of the 5th inning. Herron comes set and pitches. Bunt right side, a good one. That'll move the runners up as the flip over from Herron to first base in time on the sacrifice. That'll be the first out of the inning, and also a 1-3 put out as Fusey to third. Moving to second into scoring position, Mulrine. For the top of the order in TJ Dixon, who is still looking for his first hit. So Dixon has so far today grounded out to first and struck out, looking critical at bat for Samford here. Need to get, I think in this situation, you need to get the 2 runners home with a base hit. Down 7-0, got to make something happen here as the curveball in there for strike 1. Maybe earlier in the game you could get a sacrifice fly just to get yourself on the scoreboard, but I think you got to come up with a big play here offensively. TJ Dixon certainly did that defensively. The highlight reel grab earlier in the game. Fouls went off to the right, to our left and left side, 0-2. Fusey at third, Mulrine at second. Samford looking to get on the board. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning, 7-0, Indiana with the lead. Infield back all the way around for Indiana as time is called by Dixon at home plate. Back-to-back hits started the inning for the Bulldogs, the 0-2. Fastball fairly close from my vantage point, but must have been outside and maybe high as well. Certainly will take it, however. 1-2. Left-handed pitcher on the left-handed batter in this pitcher-batter matchup. 1-2. Grounded through the right side for a base hit. Fusey scores, and getting the stop at third will be Mulrine as Samford on the board, down 7-1. One of those, as the old cliche goes, had some eyes on that baseball. RBI single for TJ Dixon. As runners now at the corners, and we will have time called any pitching change coming up for the Crimson and Cream of IU. So we'll take the timeout and tell you who that new pitcher is for Indiana after this timeout. 7-1 Indiana with the lead, bottom of the fifth inning on the Samford Sports Network.
Game day brings out the best in all of us. Regions, every day is game day.
The road to Omaha begins in Greenville, South Carolina. The Southern Conference Baseball Tournament comes to Fluor Field May 23rd through 28th. Enjoy some great college baseball with a trip to the NCAA's on the line in a city the New York Times calls one of the top places to go in 2017. Get your tickets to the tournament and book your rooms in that Greenville today. Experience the games. Explore the city.
Samford cracks the scoreboard here in the bottom of the fifth inning. James Hardy with you. 7-1 Indiana with the lead, but the Bulldogs have 2 runners on. Just 1 out as a new pitcher, first reliever for the Hoosiers, Cade Crisco, 6'2", 185-pound junior from all the way out in Kent, Washington. Coming on, the JUCO transfer out of Lower Columbia College, a junior, comes on to try and put out the damage for Samford that has already put up a run. But this is a big sequence for the Bulldogs as they're just starting to get things going as far as offensively is concerned. They gave up 5 runs in the first inning, as well as a run in the second and a run in the fourth. All of Indiana's runs coming with a couple of outs. But if Samford can manage to come back and win, if you saw the highlight reel diving grab at the line drive by TJ Dixon in center field in the 5th inning, I've already put a couple of stars on that because if Samford comes back, that may have been a catalyst to do so. But that's not quite put the cart before the horse just yet. Still work to be done, however. But the number 2 batter, Brandon Fryman, up to the plate, but he's already had a double, and he's got 2 runners on here with runners at the corners. Right-handed pitcher in Crisco comes set and delivers. First pitch strike, 0-1. And there's still, in fact, there's a good chance that Samford, if they can avoid that inning-ending double play, can put a crooked number up on the board. 0-1. Good stop by Feynman. 1-1. Good thing about baseball, whether you're leading or you're trailing, the other team still has to complete the deal as far as getting outs defensively. The 1-1. Good eye by Fryman as the 1-1 pitch misses low. 2-1. Tim Herron with 4 1/3 unofficially in his start for the Hoosiers. Will make way for Crisco, who delivers. Just misses with his 2-1. 3-1. Mulrine at third. TJ Dixon with quite the lead over at first base. The 3-1 from Crisco. Low for ball 4. And even though it's a 7-1 game for Indiana, it's almost as if this inning that their backs are against the wall pitching-wise, because you've got 2 capable hitters of leaving the yard with Kevin Williams Jr. and Austin Edens looming on the horizon. Kevin Williams Jr. already with 4 round trippers this season, has the bases loaded, an opportunity to make something big happen here. Stretch for Crisco. Pitch, changeup in there for strike one. You would assume that Williams looking for a fastball from the right-handed hurler for IU. Bases loaded, 0-1 the count, 1 out. Good eye by Williams Jr. takes outside in the off-speed pitch. Not the worst thing here to be a little selective if you're Williams Jr. just to get the pitch that you want, because this is a big moment for Samford to try and turn things around. Down 7-1, bases loaded though. Off-speed pitch outside, 2-1. Crisco has already walked a batter, and Fryman is at first. TJ Dixon now at second base. And Anthony Mulrine still over at third. 1 out, stretch, and the 2-1. Fastball in there on the outside corner, 2-2. Kind of one of those 50-50 situations now. 2-2 the count. Crisco does not want to get to a 3-2 count here, but has to be careful with the bases loaded, especially against a capable power hitter. And the last thing for Williams Jr. that he wants is a ground ball at one of the infield positions. 2-2 the count. Pitch. Good eye as the fastball in the dirt, and a good stop as well by Feynman. 3-2. One out, do or die pitch in this at bat as Williams Jr. stands in. Takes outside for ball 4, and Samford plates home a run on the bases loaded Kevin Williams Jr. walk. RBI for Williams. Is coming home, in fact, walking home to score will be Mulrine. To third, TJ Dixon, and to second, Fryman. 7-2, Samford trailing, but just 1 out, and you've got one of the most capable hitters in the SoCon of making a big play offensively. Austin Edens coming to the plate, and this can be a turnaround point for Edens, who had just 3 hits coming into today, and that's 3 hits for the season. Already 1 for 1 with a walk, as he'll take strike 1. One of those players I talked about in the pregame, and this is the type of moment I'm talking about. From your upperclassmen, from one of your veterans, you want to see step up and make a play for Samford. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Swung underneath the curveball. 0-2. Wanted the fastball and got some off speed that time. Infield playing a double play depth up the middle, playing back at the corners. 0-2. Goes the opposite way, does Edens as it slices foul down the right field line. 0-2. Austin Edens singled in the first inning and also walked his last time up. Edens 0 for 4, scored a run in his last start against Auburn on Tuesday. A hit would drive in a run, maybe more. 1 out, 0-2 the count. Pitch on the way. Fouled back to the screen, looked as if a pitch that Edens wanted to smash deep into the outfield, but just missed on that 0-2. Got a lefty warming up for the Hoosiers down the left field line in the IU bullpen. As always, the visiting dugout here at Jolie Griffin Field on the third base side of the field. Crisco comes set. 0-2. Curveball misses away, 1-2. Kevin Williams Jr. fought off a couple of two-strike pitches before driving in a run with a bases-loaded walk. Troy Dixon is on deck. 1 out. 2 runs have already scored for the red, white, and blue of Samford U. The tying run is on deck, by the way, for Samford. Bottom of the 5th inning. Stretch and the pitch. Good eye as the pitch gets away from Feynman, is racing home to score. Will be TJ Dixon, and moving up into scoring position. From first will be Kevin Williams Jr. and over to third, Brandon Fryman. Of course, no RBI on that one, but it gets Samford a little bit closer in this game now. Down 7-3. We'll have time called, and let's see if we have the third pitcher of the inning possibly coming in for the Hoosiers. We've already seen Chris Lamonas have to go to the bullpen, and he will have to again this inning. In fact, let's take a 1-minute breather here, and we'll have the third pitcher of the inning for the Hoosiers after this.
Meet Pete and Paul, twins so much alike, friends call them Pete and Repeat. But Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama treats them as individuals. Each gets a health insurance plan designed to meet his specific needs. One is a self-employed entrepreneur, the other working for a large company. After all, no two customers are alike, especially in Alabama. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. We cover what matters. Find out how we can cover you.
Pitcher number 3 in the inning. Coming on for the Hoosiers, B.J. Sable. Coming out, 6'1", 195, the left-handed junior out of Heartland, Wisconsin. Another JUCO transfer for Chris Lamonas, who is in his 3rd season as the head coach for the Indiana Hoosiers. We'll get you some of the season line for Sable here in just a moment, but he will inherit a 2-2 situation as far as the count is concerned. 2 runners in scoring position and a 7-3 lead for Indiana. However, first base is open, middle of the order, and the possible tying run is on deck for the red, white, and blue of Samford U. James Hardy with you. Blake Gardner, the voice of the Samford Bulldogs, up on assignment in Asheville, North Carolina for the SoCon men's basketball tournament, as the Bulldogs of Samford will face VMI in about 35 minutes from Asheville, North Carolina for a first-round contest. Two and two the count, 1 out as the third pitcher coming on for IU and Sable, as he'll face the right-handed batting Austin Edens. The 2-2. Curveball low, 3-2. Fryman at third. Williams Jr. at second base. Infield playing back will concede the run for the second out. Stretch, and the 3-2. That is a called strike 3 as the tag applied by Feynman as Edens goes down on strikes. Always a reminder just in that situation that is where it crosses the plate as the ball initially dropped. But Feynman aware that time. Give him credit defensively, but still the inning continues as that is just the second out. Troy Dixon to the plate. For Troy Dixon, 0 for 2 as he struck out looking in the fourth inning. Also has a ground out to second his first time up. Pitch on the way, going sidewinding that time is Sable as he'll get the strike call. B.J. Sable, the lefty, third appearance so far, 4 2/3 innings of scoreless ball as he'll miss outside, 1-1. Just one hit allowed so far in now 5 innings of work this year for Sable. Has a walk and 4 strikeouts. That's coming into today, the 1-1. High pop up, that'll get over the press box and out of play, 1-2. Samford showing some pulse, however, as they've put a 3 spot on the board. Still have an opportunity for more with 2 runners in scoring position, 1-2. Lefty on lefty battle between Sable, the pitcher, and Troy Dixon, the batter. 1-2. Lined into right field for a base hit as Fryman scores. Getting the green light is Williams. The throw home. It is in time as the inning comes to an end. Can't fault the aggressive coaching over at third base, however, but still a good innings for Samford in the bottom of the 5th inning as Dixon drives home a run and an RBI single. And also give credit to Sowers for the perfect throw home to end the bottom half of the 5th inning. However, 4 runs will score for Samford as they get 4 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. So we're through 5 innings of play. 7-4 Indiana with the lead as we'll take the timeout on the Samford Sports Network.
At Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers, we believe in service.
Maintenance service, tire service, repair service,
and most importantly, customer service.
We believe in treating our customers with respect and integrity while offering all the services you need for your car.
Most of all, at Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers,
we believe in keeping cars on the road, keeping families safe,
and keeping you coming back whenever the need arises.
Red 97! Set! Red 97!
Did you say 97?
Yes.
You know, that reminds me of Geico's 97% customer satisfaction rating.
97%?
Helped by Geico's fast and friendly claim service.
Oh yeah, baby. Geico's as fast and friendly as it gets.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Samford puts us 4 spot on the board in the bottom of the 5th inning as we go to the top of the 6th inning. A lot closer game now and a different ball game. As the Bulldogs, once trailing 7-0, now trail just 7-4. As Sowers, Matheny, and Lloyd scheduled to come up against Cody Shelton for Samford from the mound as his first pitch for Shelton inside. Logan Sowers with a double, a home run, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored, as well as a ground out to short, 2 for 3 in total for today. 1-0 pitch, outside corner, 1-1. Logan Sowers coming into today just 2 RBIs. Has already doubled that today. A weak grounder to the left side, fielded by Garris. Throws, close play, in time for out number 1. Thought Sowers had a chance to beat it out and missed doing so by about a half step over at first base.
Designated hitter, Jake Matheny.
1 out, nobody on base for Jake Matheny. Has scored a run, hit by a pitch twice today, as well as singled. Pitch on the way. Curveball in there for strike 1. A good relief outing so far for Cody Shelton as he came on in the top of the 5th inning for starter Jesse McCord and has now thrown 1 1/3 scoreless innings and gets a swing and a whiff that time from Matheny, 1-2. Jake Matheny, 280, the batting average, with a pair of round trippers coming in. Also came in tied for the team lead before today's game with Craig Didolo in RBIs. 0-2. Fastball way outside. 1-2. Getting a little chillier in this broadcast booth, but still a nice evening here in the Magic City. Could see freezing temperatures overnight all across the state of Alabama later on tomorrow morning. 1-2 bounces in there, 2-2. Started out with 59, 60-degree game time temperatures, already down to 54 under clear skies. The 2-2. Called strike 3 as Matheny goes down looking 2 away. Second strikeout for Cody Shelton, who's come on and pitched very well at the bullpen for the red, white, and blue of Samford U. As nobody on base, 2 outs for Matt Lloyd, who has reached on an error, scored a run, struck out swinging against McCord, and also has an RBI single in the 4th. Pitch on the way. Fisted foul left side. So far, if you remember all the way back in the first inning, remember those 2 errors that allowed the inning to continue in that 5-run inning. So far, really the difference in this one. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch that time for Shelton. 0-2. Goes right after those 2 errors. Jeremy Houston had an RBI 2-run single. The 0-2. Bounces in there, 1-2. Still, all of Indiana's runs have scored with 2 outs today. The 1-2 pitch, fastball outside, 2-2. Seven to 4 Hoosiers with the lead as they have led throughout in this one. The 2-2. Lined into the glove at the third baseman, Garris. 1-2-3 inning for Cody Shelton as he's come on nicely for 2 scoreless innings in this one. No runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left on base. Samford certainly in this one and not out of the woods yet as Indiana, as we still, for Samford, have the bottom of the 6th inning and a few more at-bats left, so really anyone's ball game still. 7-4 Indiana going to the bottom of the 6th on the Samford Sports Network.
Game day brings out the best in all of us. At Regions, every day is game day.
Seven to 4, the IU leading as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It'll be Sable coming back out for his first full inning of work as the 6, 7, and 8 batters due up for Samford University, Schaefer, Fusey, and Mulrine. Sable's first pitch in there on the inside corner. Harrington Schaefer 0 for 2, still in search of his first hit. A fly out to left at the wall in the second inning, and then a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play in the fourth. 0-1. Low for ball one. Schaefer, .222 the batting average with 3 dingers and 5 RBIs. The freshman out of Collierville, Tennessee. 1-1. Inside, 2-1. With the diving catch as well as by Dixon in the top of the fifth, as well as the 4 runs in the bottom of the fifth. Right now, the momentum is still in the first base dugout with Samford, in the matter of seeing if they can take advantage of that even more. High fly ball hit to right field. Playable is drifting back, and that is off of the top of the wall as Schaefer will stop in at second base. Sowers looked as if he had that one tracked down, but the breeze that we have, the slight breeze that we do have, carried it almost out of the ballpark. As leading off with a double is Harrington Schaefer, the freshman DH, as he has his first hit. I certainly thought that was going to be a routine fly ball, but can't take anything for granted, at least in this one. As Samford has a runner on for Jordan Fusey, who has a single. In fact, started that 4-run rally in the fifth with a single and later came around to score. Indiana had all the momentum and the energy in the first half of the ball game as Fusey takes high and away on the fastball. Never discount momentum, no matter where you are in the ball game. Because that energy, especially if you can capitalize on it, Samford's trying to do so now. As they're down 7-4, but have the tying run on deck, nobody out, and a runner in scoring position. Schaefer with a good leadoff second. Sable delivers. Curveball in there. 1-1. Jordan Fusey, 188 the batting average coming in. 6'4", 205 pounds out of Lexington, Kentucky. The 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Seven to 4, Indiana with the lead, but Samford has scored 4 unanswered. All 4 of the runs in the fifth, looking for at least one more with a runner in scoring position. Still a goose egg as far as outs on the board. 2-1. Inside, 3-1. Outfield straight away. Infield back up the middle. Playing even at the bag at third is Miller. Stretch and pitch for Sable. Strike 2 call on the off-speed pitch. 3-2. Anthony Mulrine is on deck. Lefty against lefty. Fusey looking to get on. Foul tips it on the full count pitch as he swings and misses, does Fusey. Strike 3 on the second strikeout of Fusey so far today. 1 away, bottom of the 6th inning for the number 8 batter in the order, Anthony Mulrine, the catcher.
Number 36, Anthony Mulrine.
A fly out to center as well as a single and a run scored for the Samford catcher today. Pitch from Sable. Goes with the changeup and gets the strike call, 0-1. Mulrine, 6'2", 220 pounds, a freshman from out of Davie, Florida. Played his high school ball at St. Thomas Aquinas High School. Outfield playing straight away. Once again, an off-speed pitch for Sable in there for strike 2, 0-2. 2 more games in this weekend series for Indiana and Samford. We'll get on at 1:55 tomorrow for a 2 o'clock first pitch, and then noon for the first pitch on Sunday. 0-2. Lined up the middle. That will get through for a base hit as getting the green light around third. Schaefer, he'll score without a throw. And Samford's 1 run closer, down 2 at 7-5. RBI single for Mulrine is coming home to score Schaefer. Bottom of the order, and Taylor Garris. As Samford has now scored 5 unanswered runs after getting down 7-0 through 4 innings.
Number 3, Taylor Garris.
So for Mulrine, 6 RBIs now on the season. Taylor Garris with a .273 average coming in with a sacrifice as well as a strikeout, looking for his first hit. Pitch on the way. At the knees, strike call. After being down 7-0, the tying run is now at the plate for the red, white, and blue of Samford U. We'll have time called as a warning has been issued by our home plate umpire to the Samford dugout. So presumably Casey Dunn has now got a warning, I guess, for the balls and presumably once again for arguing on balls and strikes. And you could hear it right in our crowd mic there from our home plate umpire as the pitch is swung on and missed on the 0-1. 0-2 the count. One away, would not be shocked to see the runner go just to avoid the double play ground ball. Got Mulrine over at first base, the 0-2. Lined foul. Good defensive swing, though, to keep the at-bat going for Taylor Garris. About this point in the ball game Tuesday against Auburn, down at Auburn, Taylor Garris drove home the 7th run for Samford on an RBI single with a pair of outs. Just 1 out here, however, in the 6th inning. Fouls went off right side and out of play. TJ Dixon is on deck. Mulrine getting a medium lead over at first base. 0-2. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Garris not exactly happy with that call, as we'll have 2 outs now on the 2nd strikeout of the inning, 2 away. Back to the top of the order for TJ Dixon, and as you can hear, the home fans not exactly liking that call either from our home plate umpire. TJ Dixon to the plate, 1 for 3 with an RBI single and a run scored. Sable delivers fastball on the outside corner, 0-1. Remember, Casey Dunn already getting a warning earlier this inning. Tying run at the plate in TJ Dixon. Pitch on the way. Grounded left side over to third. Bobbled but recovered in the throw to first by Miller in time to end the inning. However, Samford adds another run. So 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and a runner left on base. Samford has left 5 on base through 6 innings, so we go to the top of the 7th inning. Samford getting closer, down 7-5. Going to the top of the 7th inning on the Samford Sports Network.
If you're entering a Division I college or university on or after August 1st of 2016, there are some new academic requirements you need to know.
First, you have to graduate high school within 4 consecutive years from the start of 9th grade. And in those 4 years, you have to pass 16 core courses.
Next, your 16 core courses must be taken in a specific area of study at a specific time during high school.
Your 16 core courses will determine your core GPA, which must be 2.3 or higher to be eligible to practice, compete, or receive an athletic scholarship during your freshman year in college.
10 of those 16 have to be taken before your 7th semester. Those 10 courses are locked in, meaning you can't retake them to improve your GPA.
You must also earn a combined ACT and SAT score that matches your core course GPA on the Division I sliding scale.
It's important to build a team that you can depend on for guidance and support. So go talk to your guidance counselor and ask them to join your team.
We all were in your shoes just a few years ago, so we know what it takes to become a Division I student athlete.
But more importantly, we know what it means to make our dreams become a reality. You can too.
Samford once down 7-0 halfway through. Now coming into the 7th inning down 7-5 to the Indiana Hoosiers. James Hardy with you. Samford looking to come up with one of their, in fact, would be their biggest comeback of the season, and looking for at least maybe outside, I think would even surpass Auburn if they could come back and win this ball game. It's their most dramatic moment of this young season. First pitch from Shelton grounded to the right side, fielded by Troy Dixon, and makes the easy throw to first as Tony Butler retired on the 4-3 putout. 1 pitch, 1 out for Cody Shelton, who has now gone 2 1/3 scoreless innings, has allowed just 1 hit with no walks and 2 strikeouts. A fantastic outing coming out of the bullpen for that young man on the mound for Samford. Jeremy Houston to the plate, already with a couple of hits today. Takes the fastball way outside, 1-0. A 2-run single in the first, ground out to short in the third, and a double in the 5th. Fastball low, 2-0. Jeremy Houston with 7 hits total coming in to the ball game. The 2-0 misses outside, 3-0. Interesting to note that Jeremy Houston batting in the number 9 slot in the order, now with 4 multiple hit games so far this year. 3-0 fastball inside, as that'll allow Houston to go to first base on a 4-pitch walk. I'm sure you've been hearing through the crowd, Mike, that a lot of the home fans have been barking about the home plate umpire for about the last inning plus or so. Even Casey Dunn and the Samford dugout have been doing so, and have already gotten a warning, as we'll have appears to be a pinch hitter coming to the plate as we're at the top of the order, as Laren Eustace was 0 for 3. Toss over to first, not in time.
Number 7, Matt Gorski.
So it's Matt Gorski to the plate, a true freshman out of Fishers, Indiana, getting his first at bat of the game. Runner going as the pitch is striking. The throw down is not in time as it gets away briefly, but not nearly far enough for Houston to go to third. So a stolen base puts a runner in scoring position. Matt Gorski. This is just his 4th game of the season, 2 at-bats on the season. He's coming up in maybe I would have to think, the biggest moment he's had in his young collegiate career with IU. Right-handed batter in Gorski stands in. Pitch on the way. Off-speed pitch in there, 1-1. As Indiana right now needs a run just to counter the momentum that Samford has had for the last almost 2 innings. Shelton comes set, throws to second, and it slips out of his hands into center field, as advancing to third base on the errant throw will be Jeremy Houston. looked as if they had something going for Samford defensively with that pickoff move, but I think that the ball just slipped out of the hands of Cody Shelton, and in any case, that'll be an E1. Good idea, just was not able to execute, and I think the ball just simply slipped out of his hands, because it was well to my right of second base. Infield coming in, 1-1 the count. Gorski at the plate. Pitch on the way. Off speed, in there, strike two. 6'4", 195 pounds, out of Hamilton Southeastern High School out of Fishers, Indiana, right outside of Indianapolis. The 1-2. Tapped foul as Gorski stays alive. So Laren Eustace will finish his offensive outing today, 0 for 3 with a hit by pitch. Stretch for Shelton. 2-strike pitch. Called. Strike 3 as Gorski goes down, looking big out for Samford as the infield can retreat to normal depth with 2 outs. Big strikeout that time. 2 away with Jeremy Houston still standing over at third base for the number 2 batter, Luke Miller, who is 0 for 4. Including that spectacular catch of a line drive by T.J. Dixon back in the 5th. Grounder right side on a convenient hop. Troy Dixon throws the first in time to retire the side. And Cody Shelton gets out of trouble as we go to the stretch. No runs on no hits. There was an error and a runner left at third base. So we go to the stretch. Samford in position to make the comeback as they're down 7-5 on the Samford Sports Network.
Cheaper ingredients, we've made a lower cost pizza. Let's all celebrate with a slice.
I'm allergic to triangles, so...
I'm about to go swimming.
Oh, I just turned vegan.
I'm only kidding. I wouldn't make you eat that.
Just because it's cheaper doesn't mean it's better.
That's why all our pizzas are handmade with better ingredients.
Now get a 2-topping pan or large pizza made fresh, only $9.99. That's right, only $9.99.
We're more than a pizza company. We're a pizza family. Papa John.
7-5, the Indiana Hoosiers with the lead, but a lot different game than what we started out with Indiana scoring 5 in the top of the first inning and scoring 7 runs, all with 2 outs before Samford could put a run on the board. However, the Bulldogs had the momentum with 4 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, and left an Indiana runner stranded at third to win the top of the 7th inning as we just got done with this stretch. We're coming down that final home stretch. The last 3 possible at-bats for Samford University is the 2, 3, and 4 batters coming up to the plate. I mentioned a couple of innings ago, do not discount the energy that diving catch in center field by T.J. Dixon provided to Samford. And it translated over so far, really through the last couple of innings of this one. Coming up, Fryman takes a strike call. He has walked and scored, doubled, and also grounded out to third. Both teams have gone into their bullpens in this one. Indiana 3 pitchers deep. Samford just 2 pitchers deep. B.J. Sable, 1 2/3 innings so far. Misses just low on the off-speeder. 1-1. Lefty against righty as Sable delivers outside corner, 1-2. Looking at the top of the order for Samford as far as production today. Hits for T.J. Dixon and Brandon Fryman. The 1-2. Sliced foul off of the railing in the first base dugout. Fryman has reached twice. Kevin Williams Jr. has reached a couple of times on a pair of walks. In fact, Williams also has an RBI today. 1-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 as Fryman goes down, swinging 1 away. For B.J. Sable, 4th strikeout today. 9 strikeouts total for Indiana pitching. Heron had 5 strikeouts in his start. In fact, Heron's line, 4 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs allowed, all earned with a couple of walks and 5 strikeouts. Crisco did not get an out as he allowed an earned run and a couple of walks. Williams shows bunt and pulls back and takes the strike call. So for one of these teams, it'll be the bullpen, one of the bullpen pitchers that'll get the W in this one. Heron does not go 5 innings, and neither did Jesse McCord. 0-1 is way outside, 1-1. Indiana already with a couple of home runs today. Samford still looking for their first. Fastball outside, 2-1. Almost 2.5 hours into today's ball game. It's been a good one, though. Led by Indiana throughout, but Samford hanging around and certainly has a chance to come back and win this one. 2-1 the count. Home run cut for Williams as he comes up empty, 2-2. Infield playing back at all positions for Indiana as we have past sunset, as it is nightfall in Birmingham. Almost 6:30 in the Central Time Zone as time is called. And 6:30 for Samford men's basketball today means tip-off as they face VMI with tip-off in just a few minutes up in Asheville, North Carolina. The 2-2. I don't know how Williams Jr. was able to lay off of that 2-2, but somehow he did and gets the favorable call, now up 3-2. Some plate discipline that time for Williams as he stays alive in the at-bat. 3-2 the count, 1 out. High pop-up will stay in play. Now in foul territory, right side is coming over and making the catches, the first baseman Lloyd. Two away for Austin Edens.
First baseman, number 33, Austin Edens.
So Austin Edens will get another at-bat in this one. By the way, Gorski comes in defensively to replace Eustace in center field. Austin Edens today, 1 for 2 with a walk, a single, and a strikeout. Inside corner fastball, 0-1 the count. Austin Edens out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. 3 hits total coming into today's ball game. Swings late at the curveball and misses, 0-2. Not unusual that you see even the best hitters struggle early on in the season and get warmed up as the weather warms up. Still just 3 weekends into the college baseball season, 0-2. Fouled off to our right and out of play. 7-5, Indiana with the lead as Samford has scored 5 unanswered runs and certainly has a chance to come back and pull off a nice comeback. what would be a most impressive comeback still early in the 2017 season. B.J. Sable looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Misses on the 0-2 high with the fastball. For Samford, this is their third power conference opponent in the last week that they've played. Florida State out of the ACC, Auburn out of the Southeastern Conference, and now the Big Ten's Indiana. 1-2. Bounce to the right side slowly where Butler fields and throws on the run in time. 1-2-3 inning, an impressive inning as B.J. Sable works a perfect inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base as we're through 7. 7-5, Indiana with the lead on the Samford Sports Network.
Human beings can be hungry anytime they please. Maybe you messed up and didn't eat enough lunch. Perhaps dinner is very far away. It doesn't matter. Come to Arby's and solve your hunger problems with dollar sliders, cookies, small-sized fries, drinks, and shakes, each for $1 from 2 to 5 p.m., not a.m. Arby's, we have the meats.
A busy day across the campus of Samford University as softball, baseball, and both men's and women's basketball playing today. Of course, you're watching the red, white, and blue of Samford baseball here on the Samford Sports Network. James Hardy with you as Blake Gardner about to get set to call Samford basketball's opening round SoCon tournament game up in Asheville, North Carolina. As they'll face VMI here, should be about ready to get underway if they haven't yet so far in today's ball game. Samford is, at least on the basketball floor under Scott Patchett, taking another step forward in the development of the red, white, and blue of Samford U in men's basketball, looking to get back to certainly where I remember them back in the early 2000s under Jimmy Gillette, where they made a couple of NCAA tournament appearances. But should have a good team next year with not only Alex Thompson eligible and had in fact one of his best games of his college career against the Citadel on senior day, but also former Alabama point guard Justin Coleman will be eligible next year. Along with the nucleus this year, should be a pretty good squad. One of the top contenders for the SoCon next year in 2017-2018 for Scott Patchett. Cody Shelton had 3 great innings out of the bullpen as he goes out. We'll tell you who the new pitcher is in a moment for the red, white, and blue of Samford U as Didolo leads off and will take low for ball 1. Jesse McCord went 4 innings, followed by Cody Shelton with 3 scoreless innings. And the third pitcher, a lefty for Samford University. Hamp Skinner out on the mound. Looking to keep some momentum going for Samford after trailing 7-0. The Bulldogs have scored 5 unanswered as the 1-0 strike call, 1-1. Skinner, a left-handed pitcher, 5'10", 160, a freshman out of Jacksonville, Florida. One, the count, and the pitch is bunted at and missed for strike 2. Skinner from one of the top athletic programs as far as high school athletics in the state of Florida, the Bowles School in Jacksonville. He's produced a lot of Division I Power Conference caliber football players over the years. The 1-2 is low and in. 2-2. Infield playing back for Samford. Top of the 8th inning. DeDelo leading off the inning. The 2-2. Low and away. 3-2 on the fastball. Talked about some young players earlier in the game that have made some contributions toward Samford University's first 3 weeks of the season on the baseball diamond. Brandon Fryman at shortstop, one of those. JUCO transfer Kevin Williams Jr. another. Grounder up the middle, slow roller, but through for a base hit. DeDelo with his second hit of the day has been on now 4 times today, including a walk and a hit by pitch, as he leads off the 8th with a single. Cleanup batter to the plate in Ryan Feynman, who has walked and scored and also flied out a couple of times, as well as fouled out to the catcher. Could be a sacrifice situation. It is, and instead the home plate umpire will say, in fact, appeal down to first base, and not going around was Feynman as he's still down trying to recover from having to try and get out of the way of that pitch. I got hit by that pitch that time as Feynman trying to walk it off down to first base. 2 runners will be on base for the Hoosiers. Hopefully he's okay as he's still gingerly walking. Is Feynman down to first base, so moving up to second will be DeDelo. Have time called as head coach Casey Dunn will make a stroll out to the mound, and we may have a new pitcher. In fact, we will for Samford, the second pitcher of the inning, 4th of the ball game. About to trot in out of the bullpen. We'll take the time out and tell you who that new pitcher is after this.
At Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers, we believe in service.
Maintenance service, tire service, repair service,
and most importantly, customer service.
At Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers, we believe in service.
Maintenance service, tire service, repair service,
and most importantly, customer service.
We believe in treating our customers with respect and integrity while offering all the services you need for your car.
Most of all, at Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers,
we believe in keeping cars on the road, keeping families safe,
and keeping you coming back whenever the need arises.
Coming out of the timeout, Hamp Skinner gives way for Josh Rich, the right-hander. This will be Rich's 4th game of the season, has so far pitched 2 scoreless innings and 2 hitless innings. As he's not allowed an earned run, check that. Rich has allowed an unearned run so far this season, has walked 5 and struck out 2. Once again, this will be the 4th appearance for Rich of the season, and looking to keep the score where it is. 7-5, Indiana with the lead, but 2 runners are on, nobody out, with Logan Sowers, who has already produced 2 extra base hits with a double and a home run, is about to step up to the plate. Hamp Skinner came on to start the inning. His 2nd appearance of the season, did not get a batter out. And this is a big turning point possibly for Indiana if they can get even 1 run across. Try and add to their lead going into what we already are in now, the late innings, but certainly 6 outs remaining for the Samford offense. And the way that they've been able to score, been able to bounce back, give credit to Samford for just that much, as they were down and looked lifeless in the first half of the game, down 7-0. Had a couple of errors, just weren't really in the ball game energy-wise, but T.J. Dixon's diving highlight reel grab of a line drive in center field in the 5th inning off the bat of Luke Miller did a lot to change the energy of the game for Samford. Logan Sowers looking to add some more runs on the board for IU as he'll take the first pitch strike from Josh Rich. 0-1 the count. Two runners on, stretch and pitch for Rich upcoming. Low on the fastball, 1-1. Mulrine giving some instructions defensively. Once again, two runners on, nobody out as Rich taking his time, now steps back out on the rubber. Infield looking for the twin killing up the middle. Eden's playing behind the runner Feynman at first base. Stepping off the rubber and now back on is Rich. Outfield straight away. Stretch. And the pitch. Fastball upstairs. 2-1. Mulrine will now. I like this play here. Just take some time. Give him a little encouragement like Mulrine did and comes back out. And we're just about ready for a 2-1 upcoming. Double play would be nice here, but you want to get an out and make sure that that runner at first doesn't get into scoring position. Rich comes set. The 2-1. Instead, a look back over to second base. The Hoosiers have not scored since the 4th inning when Matt Lloyd singled home a run with 2 outs. The 2-1. High pop up to the right side. Should be playable out in right field. Fusey camps under it and makes the two-handed grab. So a job well done that time all the way around for Samford defensively as Josh Rich gets a shallow fly ball to right field. So a possible double play can end the inning as the DH, Jake Matheny, has been hit by a pitch twice, scored a run, and has also gone down on strikes looking. Matheny with 2 runners on still, now 1 out as Rich will bluff the throw back to second. Jake Matheny, 6'2", 185 out of St. Louis, Missouri, a freshman. Played his high school ball at Westminster Christian Academy. First pitch in the dirt and a good stop by Mulrine, who's been very active defensively in blocking those low pitches in the dirt today. I'll have to look through the unofficial stats. I don't believe that Samford pitching has had a wild pitch so far today. The 1-0, fouled off to the right side. And my suspicions are correct so far. No wild pitches for the Samford quartet of pitchers. Two runners on. DeDeLo at second, Feynman at first. Swing and a miss on a home run cut for Matheny, 1-2. What turned into a pedestrian blowout has turned into a tight one now with a 2-run lead for Indiana. In their half of the 8th inning, 2 runners on, 1-2 the count. Rich comes home. Grounder that is fair down the left field line. 1 run will come home to check that. Thought that was a fair ball, just foul. 50-50 play that time. That goes in favor of the red, white, and blue of Samford U. We'll definitely take that, however, as we'll have another 1-2 pitch upcoming. I think that third base coach thought it was a fair ball as well, as it was close down that third base line, but just foul. Another 1-2 pitch for Josh Rich. Instead, we'll have a bluff throw over to second. Also a key call for that home plate umpire because you have one of the don't have a field umpire right now over at third. The 1-2. Good backhanded stop by Mulrine, 2-2. And that's a pretty difficult call for the home plate umpire to have to make on a bang-bang call like we saw a couple of pitches ago. To have to come out of the crouch at home plate and then have to make a decisive call like that. 2-2 the count. Pitch on the way. Just misses low, 3-2. Don't want to load the bases here if you're Josh Rich. 1 out as giving the instructions defensively, Mulrine. Troy Dixon playing close to the bag at second base up the middle defensively for Samford. The payoff pitch. Bounced left side, a slow roller as making the tag over at third, Garris as he gets the lead runner. Good decision that time, I think. Would have had a tough time getting an around the horn double play, as that'll be a 5 unassisted fielder's choice with Didolo retired as the lead runner. Like I said, I think that's a good decision that time. Probably not going to get a double play there. Would have been able to get the runner at second base, but I think it was a good decision that time, getting the sure runner coming right at you as the lead runner. So just add an extra out with still runners at first and second base now for the number 7 batter in Matt Lloyd. Rich taking his time, and now comes set. Pitch on the way. That bounces away from Mulrine as advancing to second and third will be Matheny to second, and then Feynman will come in to third base. 2 away. Now this batter becomes important for Josh Rich because with 2 outs, the runners go on contact, and a single would score 2. So you don't have to groove one right down the middle here if you're Rich, with first base open and the number 8 batter in the order who's 0 for 3 with a walk. You can certainly nibble around the edges in this situation. Grounder fair down the third baseline. That'll score 2 runs as Williams Jr. just gets to the baseball on the warning track. And that is a big 2-run, 2-out double for Matt Lloyd, and a great piece of hitting going the opposite way. Baseball can give you some strange things, and so far tonight, all 9 of Indiana's runs have scored with 2 outs.
Second baseman, Tony Butler.
5 runs in the first after 2 were out and nobody on base. A home run in the second by Sowers with 2 outs and nobody on base. Lloyd came up with an RBI single with 2 outs as the first pitch strike to Butler. And then just a few seconds ago, Matt Lloyd with a 2-run, 2-out double. Owen won the count. Stretch and pitch is lined into the glove of Garris over at third to retire the side, but a couple of runs score thanks to the 2-out double by Lloyd. 2 runs, just 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left on base. So we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, 9-5. Indiana with the lead on the Samford Sports Network.
I think we should have taken a left at the river.
Tarzan, no.
Where Tarzan go?
Tarzan does not know where Tarzan go.
Hey, excuse me, do you know where the waterfall is? Waterfall?
No. Me, Tarzan, king of jungle.
Why don't you want to just...
If you're a couple, you fight over directions. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
You have to do that right in my ear.
We hope you've had a good start to the weekend, and we appreciate you joining us today for Samford Baseball on the Samford Sports Network. James Hardy with you, filling in for the voice of Samford Baseball, Blake Gardner, as he's up in Asheville, North Carolina with Samford men's basketball. And so far, in fact, they are underway in the first half of the first round of the SoCon men's basketball championships. And the Samford Bulldogs, after the under-12 media timeout, 11:41 left first half, have a 19-15 lead against VMI. So certainly a good luck to Scott Padgett's red, white, and blue of Samford U this weekend as they try and go, really have to try and win from the first round, one of those two play-in games, and try and go all the way through to the championship game and get that automatic bid into the NCAA tournament. Troy Dixon leads off. He has an RBI single and is 1 for 3 today. B.J. Sable has pitched terrifically for Indiana out of the bullpen as he misses outside. Still do not count this Samford Bulldogs squad out. They've put up a stretch of 5 unanswered runs, but a huge 2-out, 2-run double by Indiana as a bunt foul at home plate as it hits the bat twice, and I think fortunate for Troy Dixon that time as the count goes now to 1-1. Troy Dixon back to the plate. It'll be Dixon, Schaefer, and Fusey due up in the bottom of the 8th inning. Foul ball back my way to the screen, 1-2. Cody Shelton went 3 innings of scoreless ball out of the bullpen, and then mentioned about Sable, 2 2/3 innings, has allowed just 1 run. Given up 3 hits and has struck out 4, and most importantly is not allowed a walk. The 1-2. High fly ball. Can of corn for someone out in left center field as it'll be the left fielder Didolo making the catch. 1 away, nobody on base for Ayrton Schaefer, the DH, who has a double, a run scored, has grounded into a double play, and has almost hit a home run his first time. In fact, he's almost gone yard twice today. The double hit high off the wall, and then Didolo crashed into the wall back in the 2nd inning, making a catch of a fly ball. Pitch on the way. Home run cut, but a swing and a miss at the off-speed pitch. Nine runs, 9 hits, no errors for Indiana. 5 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors for Samford. Sable will miss with the outside corner pitch as it's off the corner by about a couple inches. 1-1. Almost time to take a look around the SoCon as far as baseball scores are concerned. Outside on the 1-1, 2-1 the count. VMI picks up the home win today over George Washington 10-0. Florida A&M beats ETSU 7-3. The 2-1. High, 3-1. UNCG with an 11-3 win over Maryland Eastern Shore. Michigan State comes back to defeat Furman 3-2 in Greenville as part of the first pitch invitational. Wofford leading 4-1 top of the 9th against Pittsburgh. Home run cut and coming up empty on the curveball is Schaefer, 3-2. College of Charleston leads 3-2, top of the ninth inning against the Citadel. Also, Mercer with a 9-1 road victory at Austin Peay earlier today. Payoff pitch on the way. Swing and a miss as Schaefer goes down on strikes for the first time. 2 away, and that is now for B.J. Sable. 5 strikeouts as he is now gone 3 1/3 innings in relief. Jordan Fusey to the plate, has a single and a run scored and has struck out twice. The left-handed batter, the right fielder out of Lexington, Kentucky, looking to get on base. Takes a curveball inside corner, strike 1. Also, good ball game between Western Carolina and number 18 East Carolina as they're tied up at 4, bottom of the ninth inning. Swing and an elevator shaft pop up to the right side. Coming over, making the catch is the second baseman Butler in an easy inning for Sable, who is now retired 8 in a row since the 6th inning. So that'll do it for Samford in the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Indiana goes into the 9th inning with a 4-run lead, 9-5, on the Samford Sports Network.
Hi, I'm John Imarino, Commissioner of the Southern Conference. With the full cooperation of our presidents and chancellors, the conference has created the SoCon Academic Exchange, a cooperative structure designed to benefit our academic efforts. 3 primary initiatives will be the collaboration of international study programs, a leadership development program to benefit faculty and staff, and an undergraduate research forum. For more information on the SoCon Academic Exchange, visit soconsports.com.
New pitcher for the Samford Bulldogs coming on for the 9th inning is one of my Tuscaloosa boys. I'm from Tuscaloosa, and so is the lefty on the mound in Kyle Stewart, a sophomore lefty, 6'1", 170, out of Northridge High School on the north side of T-Town. Looking to get a 1-2-3 inning here in the 9th inning to try and set up a dramatic comeback for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the 9th inning. So far, Samford has not scored a run in the 9th inning, and opponents have scored 3 runs. For Kyle Stewart this season, this will be his 3rd appearance. 2/3 of an innings pitched so far. No hits or runs allowed. And still looking for his first strikeout as well, and has not walked a batter in this young season. Opportunity for Stewart to earn more playing time here. Still an opportunity for Samford if they can hold Indiana scoreless in this inning. We'll flip the lineup card over here, and it'll be Jeremy Houston, the number 9 batter in the order, leading off and getting out ahead in the count, 1-0. Has reached base 3 times today. Jump ropes out of the 1-0 fastball, 2-0. 2-run single in the first. Has a double in the 5th, a walk in the 7th, and is grounded out to short in the 3rd. 2-0. Bounced off his front toe foul, 2-1. So for the Samford Bulldogs, Jesse McCord got the start. Talked about Cody Shelton's good work out of the bullpen. Grounder backhanded by Garris as he'll knock it down and makes the throw across. That's wide of the first base bag. Not in time. And with the throw going into the dugout, that'll mean an extra base on the E5. See if they put a hit on the board as well for Houston. So it might have been a bang-bang throw. Good throw, I think, would have been able to get Houston. However, the error certainly allows Houston to go to second base. Just something that Garris will learn over at that hot corner position. That, hey, it's just as important to complete the play as to make. In fact, it was a good defensive stop that time to have the chance to be able to throw Houston out. Just wasn't able to make the accurate throw. And it's the good part about having it happen early in the season, being able to learn from it. Fourth error of the game, by the way, defensively for Samford as a team. As back to the top of the order, this will be Gorski coming up, who pinch hit and struck out his last time up. Bunts right side for Stewart, who will field an underhand over to first base to Edens, covering in time. So Gorski comes up with at least a team effort that time. Not exactly flashy as far as the box score is concerned, but gets the job done as far as putting another runner closer to home. 90 feet away now at third base on the 1-3 sacrifice.
Third baseman, Luke Miller.
Jeremy Houston now at third base. And by the way, Houston was credited with a single as well, in addition to that throwing error from Garris. Luke Miller to the plate. 0 for 5 so far tonight. Fouls off the first pitch on the curveball, 0-1. Infield coming in. All infield positions, outfield still straight away. Top of the ninth inning, Samford needing to get the goose egg on the top half of that score frame out in right center field. They cut what was a 7-0 lead down to 7-5, but Indiana scored 2 in the 8th. The 0-1. Misses outside, curveball again. 1-1. The big power hitting Didolo on deck. Stretch and the pitch upcoming for Stewart. Fouled off to the right side, 1-2. Samford men's basketball building a nice cushion now. 5:53 to go until halftime, 28-17. Samford leading against VMI. The 1-2. That comes in. Thought that might have hit Miller, but he's able to get out of the way. 2-2. I know I'll be listening to Blake Gardner once I get out of here later on tonight. Hopefully, albeit, I mean, let's face it, a little unlikely right now. Hopefully, Samford can make a comeback here and maybe get a victory. The 2-2, lined into center field, should get the run home as retreating is T.J. Dixon to make the catch. Tagging and scoring from third is Houston, 10-5. Good piece of baseball, by the way, by Indiana. Once again, not flashy that time as far as how they got their run, but that will go down as a sac fly to center and an RBI for Miller. Second out of the inning and now nobody on base, but Houston got on with a single. The error helped them get to second, and then Gorski was able to lay down the bunt, and Miller with the sacrifice fly. Once again, it's not going to show up on an ESPN Sports Center highlight reel this inning, but as far as the textbook baseball is concerned from the coaching aspect, it's exactly what Indiana will take from that sequence. Didolo will take the curveball for a strike. I think it's something Fred McGriff back in the day from the Ron Amansky videos would have been very proud of. Grounder just inside the first base bag, fair as it'll get into the corner. Didolo speeding to second base. He has his sights on third as just getting it out of the corner is Fusey in a triple. A triple for Craig Didolo as he's just a double shy of the cycle with a home run, a single, and now a triple. So the inning continues as that'll be, as we mentioned, the third hit, 2 runs scored, by the way, and an RBI for Craig Dedelo today. It's been one of the best offensive outings so far for Indiana this year, as Casey Dunn will make another call out to the bullpen beyond the right field wall. So we'll go ahead and take another 1-minute timeout and tell you who the new Samford pitcher is after this timeout on the Samford Sports Network.
The madness begins here. Make sure you're at the U.S. Cellular Center in Asheville, North Carolina, March 2nd through 6th for the 2017 SoCon Basketball Championships presented by General Shale. You don't want to miss the action as your favorite SoCon teams compete for a championship and a berth in the NCAA tournament. Book your travel and tickets by logging on to SoConTravel.com or by contacting the U.S. Cellular Center box office. Madness begins here. Get your tickets today.
Game day brings out the best in all of us. At Regions, every day is game day.
Pitcher number 6 coming out of the bullpen for the red, white, and blue of Samford U. Kyle Stewart gives way as he leaves a runner at third base, gives up an unearned run so far in his 2/3 of an inning. And for the Samford Bulldogs, once again, pitcher number 6 for tonight's ball game, Jack Rude comes out at the bullpen. Third appearance for him. No wins or losses so far on the year, with an inning and 2/3 on the mound. 3 hits allowed with 2 earned runs, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. 10-5, Indiana with the lead as they had a 7-0 lead through the first half of this one. Samford scored 5 unanswered runs, and now Indiana has pushed the lead back out to 5 runs thanks to 3 unanswered runs. By the way, I failed to mention that sac fly by Luke Miller, first run tonight scored. That was not a 2-out run for Indiana. 9 of their 10 runs, and this has been the difference. And to me, if Indiana can hold on, that's going to be your difference in addition to those 4 errors. But the 9 2-out runs so far, the reason that Indiana is out ahead in this one. Also, I mentioned before the timeout, the 10 runs on the board for Indiana, one of their best offensive outings. In fact, second highest run total so far, just behind their 12 runs in their first win of the year against Gonzaga down in Surprise, Arizona, back on February the 18th. It'll be the cleanup spot in the order for Ryan Feynman, who will swing and miss. Feynman hit by a pitch. He's okay, and that's good to see. Back up at the plate. Strike 2 call, 0-2. Jack Rude looking to get the last out of the inning and then hope to give Samford one final opportunity to get the W. They'll need at least 5 in the bottom of the 9th to tie. The 0-2. Looked good from where I was sitting, but at least from my vantage point, to my left of home plate was outside, 1-2. Two away, runner at third base in Dedelo. 1-2 on the way. Fastball upstairs, 2-2. 33-21, Samford basketball with the lead over VMI. 3:09 left until halftime. The 2-2. High pop-up. Let's see if this stays in play. Third base side, foul territory for Garris as he makes the catch. Inning comes to an end. However, the Hoosiers add an extra insurance run on the board. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and a runner Runner left on base. Check that, an error in this inning, however. So we go to the bottom of the ninth inning. 5 runs to tie. Samford will need 6 to win as we go to the bottom of the ninth inning as the Bulldogs down 10-5.
We are the Southern Conference.
And it's on us to stop sexual assault on our college campuses.
To get in the way before it happens.
To get a teammate or friend home safe.
To not blame the victim.
We are the Southern Conference.
And it's on us to look out for each other on our campuses.
To not turn a blind eye.
To intervene when something isn't right.
We are the Southern Conference.
And it's on us to stand up.
To step in. To take responsibility.
We are the Southern Conference, and we take the pledge to stop sexual assault.
It's on us, all of us, to make a difference on our campuses.
Join us and take the pledge to be a part of the solution at itsonus.org.
Ten to 5, the Samford Bulldogs trailing in Game 1 of this 3-game series. James Hardy with you. We appreciate you for joining us tonight on the Samford Sports Network via our YouTube live stream at our Samford University Athletics YouTube page, where you can find Blake Gardner for much of the season here, in fact, all of our home games on YouTube. Also, you can check me on the YouTube page at Samford University Athletics on the YouTube page for Samford Softball, as they'll return home for a midweek game in 11 days against Western Kentucky. You can check Blake on the baseball side, yours truly on the softball side throughout the spring on the Samford Sports Network on YouTube this season. Mandy Burford trying to lead the Samford softball Bulldogs to a second straight SoCon championship. Casey Dunn trying to lead the Bulldogs back to the NCAA tournament after what's been an almost 5-year absence from the field of 64. Anthony Mulrine, 2 hits so far today, including an RBI, looks to get things going in the ninth. By the way, a new pitcher for Indiana coming out for the ninth inning as the first pitch fouled off as it's starting to get a little chilly at the ballpark. Paulie Milto to the plate, to the mound rather, is Mulrine coming up to the plate. 0-1 misses inside. Milto, a 6'3", 240-pound right-hander, a sophomore out of Greenwood, Indiana. I mean, how many pitchers have I mentioned on this roster have been, 6'3", 6'4", and I think we've even heard a 6'5" pitcher for Indiana. As a high pop-up right side, should be easily playable and is for the first baseman Lloyd. 1 batter, 1 out. Samford had an opportunity, in fact, battled back to 7-5 after being down 7-0 through 4.5. But Indiana has used those 2-out runs, and they've played cleanly defensively. It has not been a pretty game for either team tonight, especially Samford with 4 errors. But Indiana has not done too much to beat themselves tonight on the road, and that's why they're winning 10-5. Taylor Garris, the third baseman, due up. So I believe we've got first pitch strike, by the way, 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. We're at Garris's spot as he struck out twice and also. And we've got a pinch hitter, I thought so, and it is indeed Sam Teague at the plate. As pinch hitting, and he skies one into shallow left field, is going out and making the semi-circus catches Houston out in shallow left field. So Sam Teague gets a pinch hitting opportunity and pops up to the shortstop. He's 0 for 1. 2 away as TJ Dixon tries to keep this game going as Samford down to their final out. Bottom of the ninth inning, Milto looking for a 1-2-3 inning as his fastball outside. B.J. Sable has to be, at least defensively, the star at the game for Indiana. Came in and limited the damage. 3 2/3 innings, allowed just 1 earned run. 1-0 pitch, a strike on the outside half, 1-1. 3 2/3 for Sable. 3 hits allowed, gave up an earned run, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. The 1-1. Misses high, 2-1. Not sure where you would go offensively because you have Sowers that was 2 for 5 with a couple of RBIs. I think Didolo would get my honor with a double shy of the cycle. TJ Dixon will take the 2-1 outside the strike zone, 3-1. 11 hits for the Hoosiers. The 3-1 fouled off as Samford now down to their final strike. 3-2 the count. Jesse McCord went 4 innings in the start for the Bulldogs. As it stands now, would be the loser in this one as far as the decision is concerned. The 3-2. Fly ball down the left field line. Long run for Miller as sliding and just missing on the opportunity to end the ball game as Didolo in left field. Bermuda Triangle in foul territory, so no harm, no foul for either team, as we'll have another payoff pitch upcoming. We'll have a quick post game after the conclusion of this one. We'll recap this one, go over a few scores around the campus, as it was a busy day for Samford softball, men's and women's basketball, and of course baseball today. The 3-2. Fly ball into center field coming in and making the catch is the reserve center fielder Gorski, as a 1-2-3 inning for Indiana defensively ends this one for the Hoosiers as they pick up the W 10-5. For Samford in the ninth inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base as the Samford Bulldogs fall to 3-5 on the season, their second home loss on the year, and for Indiana they improved to 4-4-1 on the year. We'll take the timeout and we'll wrap this one up after this on the Samford Sports Network.
If you're entering a Division I college or university on or after August 1st of 2016, there are some new academic requirements you need to know.
First, you have to graduate high school within 4 consecutive years from the start of 9th grade. And in those 4 years, you have to pass 16 core courses.
Next, your 16 core courses must be taken in a specific area of study at a specific time during high school.
Your 16 core courses will determine your core GPA, which must be 2.3 or higher to be eligible to practice, compete, or receive an athletic scholarship during your freshman year in college.
10 of those 16 have to be taken before your 7th semester. Those 10 courses are locked in, meaning you can't retake them to improve your GPA.
You must also earn a combined ACT and SAT score that matches your core course GPA on the Division I sliding scale.
It's important to build a team that you can depend on for guidance and support. So go talk to your guidance counselor and ask them to join your team.
We all were in your shoes just a few years ago, so we know what it takes to become a Division I student athlete.
But more importantly, we know what it means to make our dreams become a reality. You can too.
Samford gave it a good run. They were down 7-0, but almost came all the way back to tie it as they got as close as 7-5 going into the late innings. But give credit to the Hoosiers as they were able to close out the game strong all the way around. No errors through their 9 innings of defense, and ended up winning 10-5 thanks to a 7-run outburst really through the first half of the ball game, and then scoring 3 in their final 2 at bats as well. James Hardy with you, and something also to give credit for Indiana's their pitching down the stretch as they were able to get the Samford offense 1-2-3 through the final 3 at bats in the ball game as we have our final totals for tonight's ball game. 10 runs, 11 hits, no errors, and that's always big in a type of ball game like this, when usually if you can play cleanly defensively, your chances of winning are pretty good, and that's exactly what Indiana did defensively. Did not make a lot of mistakes played well offensively and scoring their second highest run total of the season. In fact, Craig Didelo, one double shy of the Cyclists. He had a home run, a single, and a triple today. Also a couple of hits for Logan Sowers as well as Matt Lloyd, and 3 hits for Jeremy Houston from that 9 spot in the order. Multiple RBIs, 3 for Lloyd today, and a pair for Sowers and Houston, along with single RBIs for Miller and Didelo. 2 runs scored for Didelo, Feynman, Sowers, and Matheny, and runs scored for Lloyd and Houston. Looking before we check out the Samford final totals, individually pitching-wise, Tim Herron, 4 1/3 innings, allowed 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned with 2 walks and 5 strikeouts in 86 pitches. Cade Crisco does not get an out in his 2 batters face as he gave up an earned run and 2 walks. B.J. Sable, with 3 2/3 of outstanding relief, allows 3 hits, just 1 run that was earned with no walks and 5 strikeouts. Another difference maker for the Hoosiers tonight as he pitched 60 pitches and ended up getting the victory. And Paulie Milto in a scoreless and hitless inning with no walks or strikeouts to close this one out. For Samford, 2 hits today for Anthony Mulrine, 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. 1 for 4 each for Troy Dixon, who drove in a run. Also 1 for 4 for Schaefer with a run scored. And the same deal as well for Jordan Fusey, 1 for 4 with a run scored. At the top of the order, 1 for 5 with an RBI and a run scored for TJ Dixon, 1 for 3 with a run scored for Brendan Fryman, 0 for 2 with 2 walks and an RBI for Kevin Williams Jr. And looking from the mound, Jesse McCord, 4 innings, 6 hits allowed, 7 runs given up, 4 of those earned with 3 walks and 3 strikeouts. Cody Shelton, a solid 3 innings of scoreless ball out of the bullpen, gave up just 1 hit with a walk and 3 strikeouts. Hamp Skinner did not get an out in 2 batters faced, allowed 1 hit, 2 runs, both earned with no walks or no strikeouts. Josh Rich pitched an inning of scoreless ball with a hit allowed out of the bullpen. Kyle Stewart, 2/3 of an inning, gave up 2 hits with 1 run that was earned, no walks or strikeouts, and then Jack Rude faced 1 batter and got an out in his 3rd of an inning pitched. The winner today, B.J. Sable for the Hoosiers, goes to 1-0. Jesse McCord with the loss falls to 0-2. There was no save in the ballgame. Home runs today, 2 for Indiana. Sowers with his first and Didelo with his 4th. Our time at the ballgame, 3 hours and 17 minutes, played in front of 232 fans here at Joe Lee Griffin Field for the 4th home game of the season for the red, white, and blue of Samford U. Before we go, I mentioned before we took the time out, a busy day around the Samford campus as first off, got to give a shout out to the Samford softball Bulldogs as they split their twin bill today in the Bulldogs Slamboree in Starkville, winning in extra innings 3-2 over Central Arkansas and then falling 6-1 against Mississippi State in their 2nd game today. Also, Mike Morris's Samford Lady Bulldogs squad on the hardwood. They fought hard, in fact, like Samford baseball today. They made it a pretty good ball game going down the stretch. In fact, went into the 4th quarter down only 2 to Mercer, the number 2 seed in the SoCon tournament, but fall 63-52 thanks to a strong 4th quarter outing by the Mercer Bears. And also on the hardwood up in Asheville for the SoCon tournament, halftime for Scott Padgett's red, white, and blue men's basketball squad, and they're up 38-24 over VMI as you can catch Blake Gardner for the 2nd half on the Samford Sports Network in the 1st round of the SoCon Championship up in Asheville. Once again, our final, 10-5, Indiana takes the first of 3 games in this series. We will be back on with you at 1:55 for the airtime, 2 o'clock first pitch for Indiana and Samford University as taking a look at the probable starters for tomorrow for both teams. For the Samford Bulldogs, it will be Mikhail Kazanov getting the start for your red, white, and blue of Samford U. He's already picked up a victory so far this season. And also for the Indiana Hoosiers, as we're trying to find out the probable starters for tomorrow. In any case, 2 o'clock is the first pitch tomorrow. Samford needing the victory tomorrow to even up the series and also give themselves a chance for the series win on Sunday if they can get the victory tomorrow. So that will do it tonight from Jolie Griffin Field on the campus of Samford University. A big thanks, Mike Grace, our executive producer, as well as Matt Waters, doing a fantastic job producing for us today. So for all of our fine folks, and we appreciate you watching us today on the Samford Sports Network via our YouTube live stream, James Hardy saying so long and a good night from the Magic City as you have been watching Samford Baseball on the Samford Sports Network.